So step 19, just grab your yellow and put it wherever the hell you want. It's kind of like sand. You're just pushing the paint around. Quite literally. The terps is the little hands. Now admire your artwork. Don't admire your artwork. Put it outside. Be responsible. Now you can admire your artwork. Vanessa from the future. I'm about to show you how to paint this in 80 steps. Oh my fucking god, wait for this to unblur. Oh my god. This is a die-hard fan. Oh, this is so exciting. Well, I'm just gonna have to come back to my fun activity. I have to go and find a frame because one's a non-commission, so I'm off. Just have a little tea. I should actually go right now. Also want to show off, I didn't make a video about this, but Mum and I quickly made a little thing because I live in a house now where I can store my frames and it looks really cool. I'm really excited about it, but there's no little ones there, so I have to go buy one. Hello. Wait. We have a really exciting project at the moment, and so if you're new here, or if you haven't watched the one previous video before this one, you will see that I've changed my tactics. My videos on my paintings are now a how-to. I guess it's kind of a how-to, but you kind of just, I'm so sorry, you also need talent. Anyway, I'll show you the previous artwork. So I'm about to wrap this one up today. You'll see in the final video, this is going to be shaded. I just had to put a tattoo on them. So this is Charles Manson as the rock star he never became, and I show you in roughly 230 steps how to paint this. So you can actually create this if you follow the steps. So I'm going to do the same thing in this video where I'm going to show you exactly how to create the artwork, or exactly how I create the artwork. And so this artwork is actually really, really exciting. The reason I'm starting it is because it's a non-commission. So I don't do commissions for people. People really piss me off when they ask me to do these, and the times that I have accepted to do it, I just ended up hating the person. So like, not for me. Don't do it. But I do have a listing on my website called non-commission where you can pay me to start an artwork with, you say what style you want. You can pick out of realistic and my surreal Vanessa style. And then you pick a size and then you tell me just vaguely what you would like. So this guy, he likes my artwork, ROBSOM, and I think it was the first one that sold this year, and it stands for Reflection of My State of Mind, because I read a study that showed that people with more grayscale Instagram feeds, they show higher markers of depression. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So the painting is a bunch of colorful clouds, and he was like, oh, I really like that one. And I was like, I like it too, but whenever I looked at it, I was like, I missed the mark with that. I don't think I really hit it with the clouds. And I've just been on a mission for ages trying to perfect how to create clouds. So like I can show you these ones where I just don't really think I hit the mark with them. But because I've just noticed that in my artworks, I'm kind of like, okay, now I know where I'm going in my clouds. Like I'll show you this one. Can you see this one? I think I'm getting there. Like these, yeah, clouds. So I'm very excited to have another go at that and create it more refined. But this time, so the only one thing that he asked specifically was to have like a specific plane in there. I don't know if it's a pilot, I don't know anything about him. So I'm kind of like, okay, let me look up the plane. I'm going to put the clouds in there and it's going to be square, and I'm thinking like daytime kind of painting. It's going to fade to yellowish, like as if the sun is rising or some sort of dusk. And just a little twist that I want to put on the artwork, I'm going to put like a bunny ear coming out of one cloud, kind of like each cloud reminds you of something. That's what I want out of this. So very exciting. And these are the paints we're going to use. So I like to use, like when I make a paint line, I'm just going to have just the primary colors in black and white. So like if you're an artist, you really need to know how to do that. So we've got phthalo blue. This is a really pigmented blue. I use Montmartre because I have a deal with them. And I'll be honest, my favorite is Georgian. It's just not my bank account's favorite. Then we've got cobalt blue. That's what you want to use when you've got like a lot of blue. and you don't really want opacity in it. And then we've got zinc white. I hate zinc white. It makes me angry because that one's also quite opaque. And then we've got titanium white, which I really like because it's not opaque. I don't think I'm going to come back to zinc white, but we might use it, especially because we're doing clouds. Permanent red. And see, that one's really old. I'm just trying to use it up. Then we've got Mars Black. I love Mars Black. Mars Black is way better than the other black I was using. I feel like it was called Ivory Black, but ivory is like a tusk. I don't know. And then we've got mid yellow. Oops, just imagine a yellow. And these two I just have because I'm waiting for them to run out, but because I spend so much time mixing my own colors, I never really get to use these. These are probably from 2017, 9 years ago. So they're still good though. So then we're gonna use those. My favorite brushes are nylon, and I like them to be square because I can get really sharp lines. I'll use round brushes when I need to do lots of fading, but we're gonna need to do that in this artwork because they're clouds. So you also want a couple destroyed brushes. So if you go around and you see some that have got like paint packed in the bottom and the base of the brush, you will want that because it means the bristles went out and we can use those. So yeah, this is a how-to. I think maximum 100 steps today. Also, there's gonna be a clip before this where I told you how many steps you can do this in. So that's just my estimation at the moment. Ooh, I have an idea. Oh, that's why my files wouldn't copy. It rage quit. So look at the clouds here. They're more pink than what's showing on the camera. Or maybe I'm making it up and it's in my head. But I'm thinking background clouds like that. We'll see how this goes. I couldn't find 60 by 60. This place here is a gem. All these three were $10.50. All right, there's some advertising. There's some errors on that, so I can't get really excited and put on my card just yet. But here it is, the frame, it's ready. It's so sturdy. I've been thinking about doing it this way for ages. Look at me, I'm trying to knock it and I can't. So yeah, look at this. This is the dowels. Dowels are the way to go with this. The reason I'm not making it stretchable, you'll see some frames, they're made with just insets on each side and they puzzle together and then you get like these pieces of wood that you can wedge in. The reason I don't do it that way is because I paint a lot quicker than other artists, and that is something that you need if you're still applying pressure to the canvas months later and the canvas is stretched from all the paint. Originally, you'll see that the paint makes the canvas stretch inwards because it's unwashed, and there's a whole science behind it. Anyway, I'm making sure that they're steady and I'm very excited about this. So yeah, time to stretch the canvas. Right, whip out your canvas roll, place this on, and you just want to fold it over so there's enough overlap, and then that's how much you want on each side. So here, there we go, I've cut two little things. I don't even, good luck camera work. Tear it like that, and I've made a mark over there, so now I've got a square. This is also excessive because once it's stretched, it's going to be probably about there. Or maybe that was excessive. It's going to be about there once it's stretched. Right, so you need this tool. I don't know, a stretching tool. You can use your hand, but it just hurts. And a staple gun. Mine is terrible. I have to like pop it back out every single time, but it still works. You need a hammer. And I've just come to realize that I don't have a spray bottle, so I'm going to address that tonight. And so because I don't have a spray bottle, you need to lightly wet this, not a lot. So just, this is attack. Right. Okay. So I shook it off. It's got the same effect as a spray bottle. So you staple in the center and then you go on the other side and you stretch it. So you want the canvas to be further along on this side than it is there because it's going to even out. So I'm going to staple here. I almost stretched it too far, but you kind of want, see that wobble? You want that. Now you have to do the opposite side. So stretch this out until that, See how I'm making the wobble go away? Stretch it out until there. I just realized I'm not as informative as the video that I learned from. So I am stretching it out until, so it's like you want the cross section where you are to be smooth, and that is, so the wrinkles will slowly move further and further away. And so I'm pulling it to that point, I'm stapling it, and then I'm hammering it in because my staple gun sucks just a little bit. And that's why I need the hammer. Now, next you do, so I can start here. Obviously I missed the center on that side. I do one on each side, and then I go on the opposite side and one on each side, and then rotate. And when I have rectangle frames, I do the longer side more. I do it proportionally as if it's like a percentage of how much I've done of each side. And I'll come back when I'm up to the corners. Okay, I have 3 on each side, and you should have a nice noise by now. Hear that? You want that noise. That's a beautiful noise. And you can see the wrinkles are moving further to the corners. This is how I like to do the corners. There's a point where you just go, I'm close to the edge. Let me just focus on this one corner instead of making them all even. And one thing to make sure of is if you don't fully pull it at the corners, you might end up with wrinkles. So you're probably going to have wrinkles, tiny ones, all along the edges until you get to the corners. So just make sure that, oh, here's a good example, like that. Stretch those out. So now we're here. I like to do this thing where I pull one this way, just kind of fold it neatly. And this is a 2-hand job. And fold it over like that. Something cute and pretty like that. And then I like to make them match. Hectic, I was spot on. That's how much fabric we have left over. So this actually turned out perfect. This was a perfect cut and stretch because I got a square before, you know, the triangle shaped tool that's called a square. And I checked all the corners and they are perfect. And look at this, there's absolutely no wrinkles. So now we want 2 layers of gesso, and I do this thing where I put clear gesso on the back after I've put my website and QR code, you know, just to make sure that in case like someone sees the artwork, the owner could be like, oh wait, no, there's a QR code on the back, and then they could find me. So yeah, just, and then like buy art, preferably mine, all my branding on the back. But the gesso is specifically so the artwork can handle the weathering, like wherever you put it, because it's a natural fiber and we don't want mold. Right. 2 decent layers of gesso. Wait till they're dry before reapplying. Listen to this noise. Hear that echo? That was such a beautiful noise. So that is the cotton stretching because it's now wet. So this was unwashed cotton that I have. So when you wash cotton, it shrinks, and I'm using that to my advantage because the whole like stretching the canvas with those wooden things. So that's just what I'm doing here. And then it'll go back a little bit, but essentially it's like, oh, I should have a really nice stretch now. Second coat of gesso, and then in a few hours we're going to do acrylic gesso, and the point of that is just so, oopsies, oh, my homemade easel's falling apart. When you hold it to the light, oh, there's no paint at the moment, but you don't want light coming through the artwork, even though like everyone's very likely to just hang it on a wall. That's kind of what people do. I don't like that, so that's why we're going to do the next step. By the way, watch out for the distant future when I'm super successful and have my own easel line. What's going on here is I hate how easels are built this way, like this, because when you're painting, your brush, it's like, what the fuck is going on here? So that's what fell out. I like to be able to see the whole canvas. Gesso, pull it out once again, and unless you bought your canvas, I want blue and yellow. First thing we're going to do is put gesso all over this. So exactly like the previous 2 layers. yellow. And you're gonna smudge this pretty much until there. Oh my god, that is way too much. Don't put that much yellow. I've made a mistake. Put about half as much. I'm just gonna make sure that it goes on the edges. That actually turned out perfect. No, that's fine. And blue. And you're going to gradually gradient the blue into the yellow. And now I think this might be too much blue. I don't know. I really didn't want it that intense, but okay. And to make it easier to blend, slash not as intense, I put a lot of gesso in the middle. Okay, that's about it. It can be super rough how you do yours. You can make it super messy because this is literally just for science. So that I don't, like for physics, so that when it's up against the light, I don't have white coming through. I have the actual color that I want there going through. So that's about it. Go let it dry. And then in a few hours, we're going to put some oil on. I was kind of hoping it would be dry by now. It's a rainy day, but we're still outside. I live in Australia. Okay, it's not dry yet. Tomorrow, I guess we're continuing. Here we go. So this is the referenced artwork, and I could have done a lot better. And if we go here to this artwork, this is what we're going to achieve. So a nice deep gray blue at the top, and then fading to a nice dusty, sandy, not sandy at all, like a pastel yellow. That's what we want. And I'm probably going to reference all these because this is just so much fun. So that's where we're up to. And you're getting a full layout of my house here. Don't rob me. Of just 2 rooms of this mansion. Yeah, so I'm happy about how saturated that is, but yes. It's dry. Okay, so there's your acrylic gesso. If you held it up to the light right now, you will see that that's what we want. So here, this tiny spot here, the light's coming through, but it's really not going to matter too much because we've covered the bases. You don't have white shining through. It's because acrylic has more of a texture like yogurt and oil has more of a texture like butter. So it's like if you really want to make sure that you get the stain in like your shirt or something, really get it in there, you would prefer to use yogurt as opposed to butter if you put like food dye in it. So what an analogy. There we go. I'm also like kind of upset that we will not be painting for that long today either because all we're doing is the background. And it's just not going to take that long, and I'm so used to spending hours each day painting, but there you go. That's what we're up to. And then I'm going to show you in real time, like I did with the previous video. We're going to wait at least a day, depending on the weather. You need UV for the oil to dry. So because I'm using water mixable oils, they dry faster than real oils, thicker oils, unless you're using, what's it called? A fast drying agent. I prefer, well, like, cause you'll see I'm going to use my hands today. I prefer the water mixable ones because it's easier to wash up. And I feel like I'd be contributing to an early death if I just used that much terps to clean my hands. So that's the reason behind that. So yeah, it should take, it's winter here at the moment. So it's going to take 2 days, which kind of disappoints me. I would like it to take 1, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to put it in, I have multiple balconies to choose from where I want my artworks to dry and to show off to the neighbors that I've got a blue canvas at the moment. So I'm going to put this on one of the balconies where it's going to get more sun and maybe it's going to be ready by tomorrow. That's a big maybe because it's quite chilly lately. Let's begin. Step 2. I've ordered physical counters because now I'm showing you how to make art with me. and it's going to be really cute. I'm going to improve my easel just a little bit. So that's probably going to happen during this artwork, which is very exciting. And I'll sit there being like, catch up. Right, so my white has run out. So I will go to my little shop in my living room to get more. But yeah, we need lots of white. I'll show you how much in a moment, but it's going to be hard for you to compare because I'm just going to kind of cut this open and smudge it on. Right, okay. Well, it's definitely not going to dry in a day because this is a new white. And so if you're just joining in on this video and you've bought yourself some white, you're going to have, so this is, I think it's linseed oil. That would make sense that it's linseed oil. It's oil, which is going to make it dry slower. So fresh paint just dries slower. We're most likely coming back to this in 2 days when we're upset we haven't painted for a day. So just put lots of white on there. That's not enough in my opinion, because blue, I'm thinking we're probably going to use some phthalo blue. Maybe not, maybe cobalt blue. We'll see. Dip your brush in the tops and make it white. Just like this. I should watch some Bob Ross. I want to see his camera angles because I'm kind of like, how is anyone following along from all the way over there? And then maybe I could be more Bob Ross. But obviously I'm a bit more, oh, someone gave me a name once. I can't remember the word. He was like, people think you're really dumb, but actually you're just, it started with an F. I forgot what the word was. And it was his way of not insulting me. So I'm not chill like Bob Ross, okay? So that's my point here. Anyway, this is what we're up to. Right, in the previous video, in my very first how-to, I mashed all these steps into one because I knew that that was going to be over 200 steps. I was thinking like, is it going to be 1,000? I don't know. So I was just kind of giving you the illusion that it wasn't going to be that many steps. But really, our next step, I'm not going to mash it into 3 this time, mash it into 1. I've decided cobalt blue because see how we can see the blue behind it? If we used phthalo blue, it would be too opaque. And I want to use, do I want to use a lot of blue? I don't know. All right, that's enough blue there. That truly is enough. Okay, cool. So we've got cobalt blue on there. And we're also going to throw some yellow at the bottom, but also not too much. See the difference? So that, you know how the white, okay, so if I touch that, it would still hold its shape, but if I touch that, it would, see? It's got my little fingerprint on there. That's how the paint sets as time goes on. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's less runny. Right. Yeah, that's okay. I wish I had some more yellow in it. Damn, I wish the yellow was runnier. Okay, there we go. I'm going to throw some yellow in here. You are too. Get the yellow back. Yeah. Just a little bit. And then actually we're going to put some black in. We'll do that. No, we're going to do it right now, because we want a really nice gradient from top to bottom. Okay. Oh, fuck. Don't put that much. Oh my God, no. Sorry, Rob, I ruined your artwork. Okay, here we go. Right. Before I get to the middle, I'm going to come back up and I'm going to mix that in there. And you are too. Actually, you know what? No, I've changed my mind. What we're going to do is mix it in as much as we can. I think I want more deep blue. I'm going to put more blue on this. Okay. Mix it into the background as much as possible so you don't just have like random white bits. And then as we get to the bottom, we kind of got to bring the paint down like this. Really aggressively like that. See how nice the stretch is, by the way? It's a nice stretch. Then we get here and we mix this in and just kind of do that. And then we're gonna start finger painting and just make sure the gradient is good by using your hands, because it's just the most efficient way to get it done. And it's just very nice and beautiful. And I look at some other artworks, I'm like, did you really need to use a brush for that section right there? I can't hold the camera and do this as well. So this is what's going on my channel, Pretty Damn Slow Vanessa, at PDS Vanessa, if you want to do it with me. It's a silent channel, so it's not entertainment at all. It is if you were like at a party and you were like, oh, this is just the resident artist on our TV. Yeah, go to that channel. Yeah, wash your brush as well. So that's not going to be a step. I'm just telling you that it's very important to wash it. Unless you're doing that thing where you're purposely destroying a brush, like you saw in the previous video, where I really used, definitely I had two. I can think off the top of my head that I've got two that are purposely destroyed. So unless you're doing that, wash your brush. And I've decided this is not rich enough, so I'm whipping out my phthalo blue. This is when you need the phthalo blue, when you don't want too much paint on the canvas but you need it rich. So I'm just referencing that artwork up there by my art. Ooh, that's gonna be very strong. You're gonna see in a moment. And then black. The white below this does mess with it a little bit, but deal with it. Finger paint again. Damn, look at that gradient. That's such a good gradient. I love this gradient. This is one of those that I'm gonna remember. And after that, your hands should feel super silky soft, and whatever man takes you on a date tonight is not gonna stop holding your hand. So step 4, put it in some UV to dry, just to make it dry faster. Otherwise, if you've got things to do, you can just wait a few extra days until I show you what it's gonna look like. So right now, I don't wanna touch it. Okay, I'll touch it. It sounds like this. See, it's a very gentle, there is no drum echo. There's no drum echo, so we're not ready yet. Guys, look at my setup. Step 5. How fun. I have 2 more in the mail. So much fun. And then I can do this. None of that. Right, this is upside down and it's not ready yet, but it's been like a full weekend. We're close. Can you hear that? Might as well focus the camera. Right, this, definitely not the same. Kind of, okay. Right, well, that button is so enjoyable to press. Very enjoyable to press. I can't wait till the other 2 arrive, so I'm just gonna press them all the time. Okay, so get your white, and we're going to do the fuzziness around the clouds, and I've got it in my head exactly how I want it to look. So something fell on the canvas while it was wet, and it was so annoying, and I was like, well, I have to wait for it to entirely dry before I can fix it, but it's taking too long, so instead of just dealing with it. So in my head, I would like a cloud here, and then they're gonna scatter and they're gonna become smaller and thinner towards the bottom. So we are going to do the haziness around it. Oops, dropped my paint. Because it's just not ready for actual clouds yet. Maybe tomorrow. Cool. This is nowhere near where the cloud's meant to end. I put the paint in the middle. So you just, I've led you astray, sorry. All right, well, that's what we've got going on here. But pretty much, this is what you want the edges of the cloud to look like. You want a little glow because it's fog, it's evaporated air, and that, like, from far away we're looking at a cloud, but realistically, it's going to have a little bit of a color scatter. Right, well, I'm just going to do this for a little bit, and so are you, and there's not much more we can do after this today, which sucks. Great, now it's going to look like this. You know, I'm thinking maybe I might be able to add a little more today, like the base of the clouds, but yeah, this is just what it's like until, like, because realistically it's not going to make a huge difference until the background is much more dry. So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. The clouds, as they get towards the top or even lower, I want them to have depth, which is something I haven't done before. So this is going to be really fun and exciting for us. And we're going to look at a picture of clouds. But yeah, that's just going to be later. But I just need to put something here that reminds me of that. So I don't know. Hopefully we don't forget. You see in some of my old videos, I say I'm going to do something and then I totally forget about it. Okay, so keep doing this until you have enough fuzziness around, like, about this much and this much and this much. You know, like, as if the cloud is going to be there, we want a lot more fuzziness around it. Now I'm applying the paint more strategically. Maybe you should do that too. Really blend into the background. It's kind of good, like, I know I'm complaining that the background's not dry, but it is good that it's not dry because we can blend it in at the moment. So wait until yours gets that tacky sound and really take advantage of it. I'm just complaining because I haven't painted in like a couple days and I'm really upset about that. That's all that's going on here. Right, so there's one there. One there. Is it easy to see in real life? I don't know. I feel like I would show this to someone. They'd be like, what am I looking at? And then there. And then, okay, maybe I want to make this one thicker to show that it's got depth. And I put one up here. Right. Okay. Yes, this is how it's going. I'm thinking there is a very small potential to put the actual clouds in. Oh, haha, step 6. That is so much fun. Right, here we go. We're going to put some actual clouds in. And this is not going to work very well, but we're just going to take advantage of the fact that the paint is at this stage at the moment because we get a really nice blend. So it's kind of like you're trading one or the other. You either have a background that's not ready for artwork on it and is just extremely easy to blend, or you have background that is ready and you have to sacrifice your blending. So that's step 6. And this, oops, oh no, Don't put the brush on the yellow first. Oh, can you even see that? Okay, here we go. Now don't really blend it. In fact, I'm just gonna switch brushes. This one because it's dry. Okay. This is as far as we're going to get today. It's a real shame. Okay, so blend these and don't blend it in as much as you blended the background. So just make it so it's nice and fluffy and blended. But you know what? It's just be easier if I show you when I'm done. That's what you want. Can you even see it? I'm trying my best to show you. Yeah, okay, so let me just grab this. So now you've got a light halo around it that's nice, very smoothly blended. And then you've got this choppy kind of blending on the inside, and it's not going to exceed that thickness because the first one did exceed it and it went to there. So it stops there. We essentially want something more concentrated. Good luck. I'm so sorry my description was a bit hazy. This looks so good in real life. I want you to admire yours for a moment there because it looks so good. It's almost as if, so you know how some people like paint and they do like a little section and they draw it out first and it looks perfect, that little section, and then they magically get the next section perfect and you're like, what the fuck are you doing? So it's kind of like, well, my one and your one is just gonna fade into the image. Like you're a camera and you're focusing it, so it's starting to come into focus, and that's really, really, really exciting. I forgot to mention, so you're likely not stretching your own canvas, and if you are, you likely don't have the canvas I have because I go nuts looking for my canvas. Really, I left a gallery. I ended up leaving a gallery. You should watch the last video on my other channel. So this is 8 ounce and I love my canvas. It's absolutely fantastic. But if you're using a store-bought canvas, then yours is likely going to be a bit tougher to paint on. So I don't know what they're doing. I really don't like the store-bought canvases. There's just something synthetic about them. So your paint might not stick as much. So extend the waiting times between these until you get the same texture as I do. We're done for the day. It's just exciting seeing the artwork come to life. Cool, how very fun and exciting. This is gonna be a very quick one. This is gonna be a very, very quick one. You guys are probably gonna make a masterpiece with this one. I don't know how you did with the Manson one. I would love to see someone's finished artwork. Cool, okay, yes. We now have to wait. Actually, you know what? In my imagination, one cloud did extend further in because I want the plane to look like it's spiraling around it. And we need some width for that. Okay, just real quick. Real quick. You do this too. You extend one of the clouds. Okay. The sun finally came out. So it took a lot longer to dry, but now we're here and you essentially want it like this, touchable. Yeah, at the bottom it's good too. Right. Step 7. White again. We're essentially repeating it, but now that we've got layers beneath, it's going to look different this time. Yep, this is just going to be deja vu for you. How do I describe this? Exactly the same as the previous steps, except exactly the same. So you know how the first one we did the thickness, and then I don't know how many degrees it's here. I feel like it's 20 and people in Europe are laughing at me, but it's very cold. So the next layer was like thinner. The next layer is going to be thinner, but maybe by only 1 centimeter on each side. I might just break that rule anyway, who knows? I forgot where the clouds are. Yeah, same step. Update, it's 18 degrees. It's even colder. Very cold. Well, actually inside my kitchen, which is, I don't know, like 5 meters away. I have a huge house. It's 17.2 degrees, which is essentially 12 degrees. It's so fucking cold. So clouds do this thing, like if you go out and look at the clouds, I probably look at the sky a bit too much for a normal person, but they do this thing where a little bit separates. So it's like, you should do that with your clouds. On top as well. I like it when they separate on top. And then I decided to do a couple sideways because I'm a surrealist. Look how beautiful your clouds are shaping up to be. So I really like this part because it's different to the previous two because it's dry, which means we've got a lot more scratchier edges like this, not totally blended in on purpose. And here you can see sharp lines from the brush, and here you can see it. So done on purpose. If you ever look at the clouds, you guys should just like spend some time looking at the clouds. You know, when you're driving, just stick your head out the window at the red light. Yeah, so, oh, and here, you can really see it here. Now, step 8. I think this is going to be a roughly 50 to 70 step artwork. We are going to look up clouds because I've decided that this one here, you can do whatever you want. This one's going to move forward towards the viewer. Yes. And then the little plane is going to look as if it's gone around here. It's going to be really fun. Ooh, look at this one. Save, oh, fuck. Save that. Okay, close it. That was really cool. That's a cool one. I hope that's real. Ooh, look at these ones. Save that. All right, still haven't found what I'm looking for. We really want the clouds to look like they're attacking us. Like this kind of, but we're too low. we're too much on the ground. Damn it. Oh, fuck, that's cute. That's not correct though. I'm not going to be doing that. I need some depth. Wow, look at this one. That is so well done. I don't think that's real. That's so well done. Here we go. What is this? What's going on here? Rare cloud formation. I want to learn about that later. Okay. Is it going to be like, you know, like my generation, millennials, got told, don't believe anything on the internet. Gen Z was not told the same thing. So we're going to copy this. Here. It can live there. Okay. So I see bigger area and then smaller area, of course. So instead, we're just going to do bigger area here, and we're just going to have to use gray and color to show that it's depth and in the way, and it's just going to go off the edge. So you're essentially filling this with white fluff. Is that count as another step? I'm going to count as another step because I like pressing this button. Haha. Oh, also to add to that, this is another one of my destroyed brushes. You can see there's paint packed in here. You can see the black. Can you see the black? There's paint. Oh, I touched it. Which makes the bristles go outwards towards the top, whereas a non-destroyed brush looks like this. And it's just, it serves a different purpose for me. So yeah, that's the one I'm using, and it's not the smoothest one. You can hear it. It's a bit scratchy. Hear it? You can hear the bristles, whereas this one, or I have another one that's on its way to being destroyed and I'll still use it, it wouldn't make the same noise. It would be a lot smoother. Yeah, okay, so they sound different. It's a whole technique going on here. Yeah, so this one, scratchier, wider, and that's how I'm gonna get the scratchier, wider look with my clouds. So don't go for the perfect brush. Well, you can, it's gonna look different to mine. It's gonna look different anyway, to be frank. Step 10, just so you can look at it, put more white in locations where you want the cloud to be thicker, because I think we can just get away with it today Normally I'd be like, oh, I'll wait a bit more, but I'm having fun painting. So that's the only reason. There's no technical reason to this. Just doing a bit more, and the same as the previous steps, don't let it go to the edges unless, well, you could. So for example, if you have the fatter cloud protruding in front, then you would make the sharp edge. But yeah, that's step 10. Just do it again. All right, that's about it for today. Tomorrow morning when the sun comes out again, I'm going to pop it out in the sun and get some UV and then just let it dry. So these paints, they're kind of cool. The more you paint, the faster it dries. So it's exponential. From here on, I'm going to get a nice, like if this was reverse exponential? No. I'm picturing a graph. Anyway. It's going to start drying faster as of after tomorrow, which is really exciting. So next step, we're going to put some colors in and go from there. Even though it's a destruction brush, go wash it. Go wash your brushes. Trust me, I've learned the hard way. Like these are intentional, but the ones that are completely destroyed, you just can't use them at all. Artists do this. We just spend too much time just admiring it. Admiring or judging or questioning or just staring at it. So, okay, can you see the lighting? This is what I'm looking at. Can you see? Yes, okay, see this reflection here from the first glow that we did when it was still wet? Yeah, I think that adds such a good touch. It's kind of like, it's not the silver lining, because I was looking at a cloud the other day that actually had a silver lining. It's just that extra little. So don't skip that step. Definitely do that step. It's just a little, important. Exclamation mark. We're back. All right, step 11. So this is my next artwork, waiting. And then this one's just for fun until I start another artwork. Right, so I think I would like some sort of sunset color for this one. A man purchased it, so I don't want to make it too girly. I love my pink, but, well, he hasn't purchased it yet. He's just purchased my energy into creating it. $100 if you want a non-commission. So, AUD. I would like to use this color. What is this? I really can't help you. I can't help you with this one. So just mix a fuchsia that you like. So that's going to be red, a little bit of white, and a little bit of blue. Good luck with the blue. I highly suggest using cobalt, not phthalo. Or maybe I should make it orange. Let's do orange first. So grab some yellow. Should I make it yellow? Nah, orange is calling me. So grab some yellow. Oh no, we lost it. We lost it. Fuck. I think I'm going to replay that. I don't know how my Butterfingers ended up losing that one. Yellow. See, just place it gently. Permanent red. You know what? Maybe it's going to be a bit of a peach. I'm up for peach. Which means same combo. A little bit of white, I guess. I don't know. It seems a bit redundant at the moment because we're painting on white. What does Bob Ross pull out? He pulls out all the burnt umbers. Right, okay. I'm thinking this. Ooh, this one. Okay, this is gonna be annoying. Don't use your fluffy brush yet. You want to mix it with a throwaway brush. This is my throwaway brush because it sucks. It was actually a lot fatter and then I made it thinner by cutting all the bristles off. And I don't do that. Just don't. That's not how it works. Okay, cool. We have this nice peach color. So if you looked at how I mixed that and copied it exactly, you're a genius. Here we go. So we're dabbing it in. And this is way too much. Oh no. Okay. I don't think I have regrets. Okay, gently put it in the depths of the cloud. Okay. Is this still step 11? Oh, I don't know. We're going to separate this. Step 12. So get your scratchy, fluffy brush because there was no terps on that, which means it's going to be really tricky to work with, which is why we want the scratchy brush. This brush was not going to work. It's too soft and gentle and delightful. So smudge it using this brush. I ended up putting a little bit of terps on my brush because it just wasn't going to smudge. But like by little, I mean little. So see this little dark spot here? I wiped it all off. So if you do put terps, this is a huge warning to you. You're about to destroy all the below layers. But if you can make it as if your brush feels dry again, there'll still be terps on it, but like that's how much you need. I think I just did that. I wasn't paying attention, but I think I just did that. See, that's what I mean by it is really easy to mess up. I'll deal with that later. And you did it too, so there's going to be a step that we're both going to fix together. Now you can see that I'm moving from the center outwards just gently with the first brush because there's no paint on it really anymore. Yeah, okay. We are repeating that with other clouds. So I'm going to choose this one. Great. And then I'll probably choose, ooh, in my digital artworks, I would do like one. Yeah. So from a technical perspective, I'm considering maybe I could have tried not using white and only the other color, but I think the white is really important because of highlights. All right, continue with the rest of your orange. Step 13. Pick another color. Pick another color through the rainbow. So if we're orange, you have to either go to yellow or pink. Red. I'm skipping red. I'm going to fuchsia because I love this color. Yeah, and if you want to make that color just a really intensely small amount of cobalt blue, red, and white. I definitely want one here. Ooh, this one looks like it should be this color. Yes, certainly. This one. Okay, do the exact same thing. I think this is going really well. I think this is... Put some rich color spots in there. I think this is going to pan out really well. Actually, to add on that, yes, now we can see the importance of having white underneath because it's like we get just... Oh man, my vocabulary... if you have coloring pencils and you try and color in on a pink paper with blue pencil, it's going to come out differently to the way you color in on white paper with a blue pencil. Oh, here we go. We didn't even need that analogy. This is where I scratched back the white by accident, and this is where the white is. So you can see there's an absolute difference there. So we did need the white. Very important. Good work past Vanessa, and whoever you are. I love the pink. I love it. Like my favorite artwork that's gone, called Trauma, used this pink, which is why I love it so much. It's a bit nostalgic for me. So I'm definitely gonna be sad when it's gone, but I'll be very happy when I start mixing my own. So now I'm gonna use a bit of purple, again, pre-mixed because I'm trying to make them run out intentionally and then not buy anymore. So you're just going to have to put a bit of, a little bit of white, red, a little bit of blue. I used to make the mistake of putting way too much blue in the past, and especially now because cobalt and phthalo are really pigmented in general, like even though I say cobalt is less pigmented than phthalo, they're both quite pigmented. So just play with that for a little bit. And I don't really want too much purple on here because it's going to be too many of these hues. And I really want to fit in the whole rainbow. So I'll probably just do one here. Did I even... This is step 14. Yes. Each color is going to be its own step. I'll do one here. Ooh, these two, they're going to be two different colors next to each other. This is starting to look pretty cool from afar. I'm nighttime painting again, so lighting is terrible. For another week or so, because the smart lights are coming in and I can make it bright white. Anyway, irrelevant. We're going to do a little risky painting with some phthalo blue. I was thinking like maybe cobalt blue, but I want phthalo for some reason. My gut is saying use the phthalo. So this is step 15, and it would be dumb. Like this is like a bullet versus a knife. This is the bullet and that's the knife. So I'm not putting a goddamn bullet on my painting. So mix it in with some white. There we go. That's still a bit rich. You know what? I kind of want a bit of yellow in here. Oops. Okay. I know it didn't look like I mixed yellow. It looked like I mixed like orange, but no, it's good. It's yellow. Right. So... Oh, I can't decide. This one. Because this one's going to blend in just a bit. And I knew that from my digital artworks. The blue clouds always blend in a bit. Are you also having so much fun? I'm having so much fun painting this because I can see where it's going. Very exciting. Step 16. So we have all run out of blue. Grab some more. I'm going for a minty green. I'm regretting dipping my brush in this yellow. Oh man, I'm regretting this. I just gotta put the camera down. There we go, nice and clean. The yellow is, I don't know, like it's the least of the primary colors that I use, despite all the brown we used in the last artwork. Yeah, don't know about that. So this is not the green that I want. It's a bit too rich. But the green I want is the same, just a bit lighter. So it is and it isn't. I'm regretting. See, blue is just a dangerous color to just dip into your other paints. Like, goddamn, I have regrets. Okay, now we've got the green. Did I tell you this is step 16? I don't remember. I was just too busy, lost in the sauce. Yeah, okay, this one. Ooh! That's not green at all. It kind of is. We need more yellow and more white. Actually, that's exactly what I want, don't worry. I told you it was too rich. I'm just being a dick, okay? No, that's perfect. The green turned out kind of nice. And now I'm thinking if I did yellow here, it would be too much of that one hue. Step 17. Oh no, I painted my ground. Now that I'm done with my green, I don't want any more green clouds. I still have green on my brush, and I'm thinking with this one, like, because we're kind of same, not the same artwork, but my skill level is stepping into the future, similar concept. So this time I want a gradient within the clouds, which I haven't done with any of the others, but I think it would be kind of cool. Oh, here's another one. And because I won't be able to entirely clean my brush, I'm going to have like a lime yellow. Right, step 18, we're pulling out the yellow. No, I have absolutely no chance of getting, that's how pigmented blue is in general. And it's already in my yellow. I've already screwed future me over. You guys did too. So, yeah, look at this lime yellow. I am hesitating to use this brush. I have another one. It's also somewhat destroyed, so it's perfect. Yeah. Okay. I think that's all the colors. Do the remaining clouds. Step 19. Probably last step for today because I don't know. This I guess I do know. This artwork needs a lot of sitting between layers. So step 19, just grab your yellow and put it wherever the hell you want. I feel like yellow works everywhere, even kind of on the purple, but not really. Plenty. We have one final step because okay. Oh shit. Okay, this one has to go in the green then. I really didn't want it in the green. I wanted this in the yellow. See how useful my custom easel is? You just kind of, like a button. Check out my easel video. I just learnt the other day that I haven't actually shared it yet, but it will be shared by the time this video comes up. So it's on my other channel. Grab your white and throw it in the center. Because now is the time to solve those little problems of this. And it's kind of also working as blending the color in. So throw it in the center wherever you see fit. Like this. I'm not putting it right now. I have to go through the rainbow. You have to go through the rainbow too. So through the yellow. And then, okay, so the yellow, and then I'm going to do orange. I'm going to do here, here, honestly, where the cloud is thickest. And then I go to pink. I wouldn't do too much on the pink because I really like how saturated that is. And it's like I've already achieved the next goal. So I would do it in here where it's lacking. And then I go to the purple and then the blue. So I'm going to have a nice little purple from this pink. That one's not going to carry on too much into the blue. And I'll show you when I'm done. Beautiful. I'll show you tomorrow. And you know what, team? 21. It's a factor of enjoying pressing the button. Also, like, I know this is not going to be a big artwork, so cram in as many steps as possible. Step 21, spend the night looking at clouds. You really you need to look at the clouds. Look at this one. I know this one's not real, but it's convincing. That one, I'm going to look that up. Yeah, that's so... Oh, that's a flower I grew. Anyway. Look at the clouds. If you're at the lights driving around, pop your head out the window. Good morning, team. I'm just going to blur my location. So the sun is there, and it looks like the clouds, the grey spots, are directly correlating to where the sun is. See, that one there, that's not a really dense cloud. That's just in the shadows. Where was I looking? I think there. There. See that grey that's in front? I think that's shadow, so we want to take note of that. And then I was looking at this cloud over here. I think. Yeah, that cloud. Focus. That cloud. And it's grey at the bottom, but it doesn't look very dense, so I think it's taking the shadow from this big cloud here. Right, we're going to implement, 22. We're going to implement today's learnings into the artwork right now for half an hour, I think. So I've decided I'm going to put the sun here, and all the clouds that I see. So this one over here, I want it to be further in, and we're gonna see it, we're gonna do it together. So since I've decided the sun is here, that means this side of the clouds, wherever they face the sun, is gonna be white. So you do the same with yours, decide where there's a sun. So for example, if your sun is over here, then like in the distance, you're gonna have more darker colors towards the front. So you would have more silver linings. I've decided I'm using this brush. It's nice and cute and little. So this is what you're gonna do. And just keep doing that for a little while. This might be a part where you want to go to my other channel, the Pretty Damn Slow Vanessa channel, and just watch it in real time. And then, I don't know, like the camera shot is essentially, it cuts out that packaging for some advertisement on my car. Yeah, you should see that video on the other channel. So the camera is about, oh, don't look at my washing, that big. So I'm not sure if you can really see what I'm up to through that video, but like maybe zoom in, maybe, give it a go. Go through the rainbow again. So we're at the point where the paint's just drying straight away, which is fantastic, but still go through the rainbow. You just don't want to accidentally mess anything up. Like I've done it a million times, you trust me on that. That's how that one's looking. More depth. Yeah. This one looks majestic. That one looks so good. I think I'm almost done with that. I have to break one of my own rules. So I always put the sun up here, but clearly the sun is over here because this is where the background gets lighter. Oh. That's like the last place I'd put the sun, but we're deciding it's down here. So I have to put the shadows beneath. And I was putting it beneath for this one, just for shits and giggles, because I was looking at the artwork last night and I was like, that cloud would look so good with white at the bottom. So, and now it kind of makes sense why I thought that. We're gonna leave the white where it was and just go with the new spot where the sun is. But your artwork might be entirely different. So like, I don't know if you made the same mistake as me. It's getting there. It's still looking a bit too ROBSOM at the moment. So I think I put gray in that one. Now that we've put the white mostly at the bottom, we're going to come back to that once we've filled in the clouds a bit more. We're going to step 23. And for each color, get the most pigmented part. So mix the color again and put it at the top. Well, the opposite of where the white went. I'm going to start with orange and I'm going to show you. I'm focusing on the top parts. I'm not sure if it's going to look on point just yet. And I was thinking back to ROBSOM and I'm quite sure I put gray in it. I'll have to go look at it again, but I don't think I'm gonna put gray in this. I'm not sure. Actually, no, I just lied. I will because I'll have to because of the shade on the opposite side of the sun. So if the sun is giving white light, we're gonna have black light on the other side. I wonder if the sun gave out blue light, then would we have orange shadows? Wow, that's something to think about. Would we? I don't know. Probably not. Maybe? No, we wouldn't. Imagine a world where we did. I just fucked it up a little bit. I'm adding another step in between. I guess they're simultaneous. So I'm not liking the texture here. I'm not liking it. It's a bit rough. I was looking at the clouds yesterday and some of them are quite rough, but then you look at the photos that I have and those are really dreamy and smooth. So I put terps on this and then I entirely got rid of the terps. Just enough so that if I gently brush it, it becomes more blended. So do that in the spots that look a bit too rough for your liking. But don't do it too much because I am going to paint tomorrow. But it needs to sit for a bit. It's getting to the point where I keep scratching back to the blue. So it needs a day or two. And that is because I'm using a brand new white. If I was not using a brand new white, we wouldn't have this problem. If you have the same problem as me, with this step, gently push the white paint back over where it's meant to sit. So it's like if you made a hole in the sand at the beach, just push it back. It's not going to be perfect, but it's close enough. Be careful with the blue when you get to it. It's just closer to black in grayscale as the other colors are. Yeah, I'd say it's a lot closer. That's it for today. So up close, it's kind of like, alright, I don't know. But then you go, over here, and zooming in is not helping. You can see, like, we're on Earth now, and those are the clouds that are really far away, and we can see how the lighting is working. Like, this one is working pretty well, and this one's working pretty well, and especially this one, but not in the middle, not when we get closer. So it's starting to look pretty good. We're going to repeat the previous step. 24, 23, I think it was 22. We're going to repeat that tomorrow. Damn! Look at this. You are looking at it. You have nothing else to look at unless you look away from the screen. Thoughts going through my mind is it's extremely saturated, but I also like it and I'm confused. We're going to leave this at that. So I'm looking at these and I'm noticing, how do I describe this? If the hardness was 0 to 100, we've got a hardness of about 70 and it's not a smooth brush. It's like a speckled brush. So if you're into using Affinity Photo and photo manipulation, you know what I'm talking about. How do I even describe that? Sorry, can't tell you. Anyway, so I'm just describing the roughness and the outline. And I'm noticing that consistently between all of them. So we don't have a smooth gradient the way it is there. And I'm worried that this is where I went wrong with the first artwork, ROBSOM. So we're essentially just going to have this zoomed in. Oh, I was looking at this one. Oh, okay. I'm going to make this cloud look like this cloud. And so are you. You're going to follow the steps with me. So I'm going to have this one hanging out here. I should get my stand. So this is going to be step 25. 25. Actually, we're going to focus on this upside down. So you know how iPads rotate themselves. Can I? Here we go. Right. That's more appropriate. Okay, get your white and get, I was thinking this brush is suitable, but it's also too big. So this brush is suitable because it's small and it's somewhat rectangle. It's a bit too puffed out and it gets that way because I've used it a lot. So ideally, well, I can't talk. I would want something that's more like that, but this one is too stiff. This one's going to destroy the layers beneath this one. So we're going with this brush. Throw it in the white, and I really wish I could like reflect this one, but that's what we're working with. Dip it, oops, and wipe off all the terps that you just dipped. Did you even get any? Yeah. And, okay. Wow, look at that camera work. I need to watch more Bob Ross because I was talking to some girls last night. We were out at dinner and having a girls' night, and they were like, "Oh, we love Bob Ross," and I was like, there are so many people that I've met that just love Bob Ross, and I think his presentation has a lot to do with it. So it's kind of like, I'm going to I'm doing my own presentation. See, that's way too smooth. But obviously people can see what he's doing. Like, he's not pulling this shit. So this step, I've decided I'm just kind of dabbing it in 2 lines, and I want the paint to be quite pigmented, so I'm not really smudging it too much. And when I am smudging it, I'm trying to keep the how do I describe this? The scattering of the edges. Yeah, so don't put brush strokes, just kind of attack the canvas. Because I'm looking here, I'm like, okay, we've got lines of cloud. That's probably due to the wind on the day, but you know. Do it on all of them. This one up here looks fantastic. You guys did a great job with that. So I've noticed we're going to do this in the next step, not in this step. So this is step 26. And what you're going to do is you're going to get a big fluffy brush like this one, and we're going to put it in the white. And what I'm noticing with these is, so it feels more chunky here, even though it looks more chunky here. What I'm referring to is if I got an eyedropper, this would be a lot darker than this, and this would definitely be a lot darker than this, even though they look the same. I would prove it. I can prove it if I keep this screenshot, remember, while I'm editing. Hey team! Okay, I'm going to show you. I've just airdropped the file to this. Download movie. Oh, that's what I'm recording right now. Here we go. Yeah, there's nothing malicious here that you shouldn't see. Okay, what was I saying? First I have to flip it. Document, put vertical. We're just going to do it that way. And then what was I saying? Oh, okay, here I am. I'm showing you. Oh, I did this with my other artwork. Affinity photo for the win. Everyone should delete Adobe and watch my videos on deleting Adobe. So, I believe we were here. The computer's just really far away because I haven't set it up in this place yet. So, you get a full view of my wall. We're going to eyedrop this section here. And then we're going to be over here. So this is what I meant earlier about the hardness. We're going to increase the hardness to have an actual. And when I'm talking about opacity, 100% opacity is this. So it would blend in quite nicely up here where our eye dropped. And then if we eye drop down here, it's going to be a different color. And then if we eye drop over here, it is too going to be a different color. So that's just what I'm saying in the video. So because of that, we're getting this and we're just gently going to brush over it in some places. I don't think it's necessary to go through the rainbow. Yeah, we don't have, neither of us have any orange in our brushes. Okay, so that's something we're going to do. And I'm going to put it here and here, not all over the place, but just enough to make it feel like it's not choppy. So I'm going to do it here, mostly from the white to the darkness. So this one and this one. See, that one's going to turn out fantastic. That one's a bit dicey. Right. Do this for all of them. So I'm mainly going from the bottom up, but maybe I'll do a few in the middle like that. I should really continue painting at daytime. You guys aren't getting it. You're not getting the full gist. So step 27, get a brush like this, dip it in the terps, mix it in the paint, the white paint, titanium white, and we are going to focus on sections like this or like this. What's another example? Or like this. So here, let's do that very last one. See how there's two clouds next to each other in my one? In your one, oh, we need more terps. Oh, fuck, that's too much terps. Undo it. Don't do that. You can time travel, I can't. All right. I'll get better at this camera work. I really will. I want it to be as popular as Bob Ross's videos, so be patient. Okay. There you go. There's an example of one. Now I see here we have another section like that, slightly above it. So I also have a section slightly above it, so I'm going to do that. And then we are smudging just one side of it. Like that. And it's going to look a bit dicey at first. And it's going to make you uncomfortable. So, where else? I want some firm cloud edges, like this one down here. So I'm just going to make a nice edge and smudge inwards. So there's another example. I'm going to go off and do many of these once I turn off the camera, but I'm just showing you. You know what? I've got to stop touching that one. Ugh. Okay, we're going to come back to that. Well, fuck. Ah, look at that. It's beautiful now. Okay. It's because there's terps on my brush. It really affects it. And, all right, so that's silver lining. So with that, I'm just going to make it not blend in too much and just try and get as pigmented white as possible in those spaces. Not possible at the moment because my tube is that fresh. And if you just started with this painting today and you've just bought the paints off my website, then yeah, you've got the same problem as me. So we're going to have to go over this again. I have a deal with Montmartre, by the way, which is why I sell Montmartre paints. Just the ones that I use because convenience, and I'm showing you how to do it. So it's like, why would I sell anything that I'm not using if I'm not showing you how to use them? Damn, time is going so fast. I should wrap this up. Not because I want to. I would like to keep painting, but I'm hungry. I'm building a robot, and I kind of want to finish it. So what I've done, we're going to come back to this in 2 days because, can you see that? See how the paint is drooping? I need to leave it alone. So tomorrow's Sunday, we're leaving it for Sunday, we're coming back on Monday. If the sun's out, I'm going to put it outside and get some UV. You should too if you have the same problem. So I'm pointing out, I did these edges. So essentially we're just doing edges, but like also inside edges. Where's an inside edge? There's an inside edge. So here, I thought this one turned out pretty well. This is my favorite. This one turned out so fantastic. There's something so soft and like accurate about it. And these ones, and I am contemplating, the good thing about taking a little break is I'll watch it, like I'll take a look as I'm walking past every 10 seconds and be like, oh, okay, I think this is going to work. So what's running through my mind is I'm thinking I'll get each color and then gently dab it over the white bits because, or I should actually look at my digital artworks as well. You should look at my digital artworks as well. Go to my website and, you know, I'll see you in a week. So that's where I'm at the moment. Oops. All right, that's it for tonight. For a moment there, I was like, oh, I don't know about that last step. But like when you step back, your artwork looks sick and it's starting to work out. I was iffy about the colors using white, but now I'm not because if anything, I would put we're gonna discuss this on Monday. I would put yellow on it because there's something about adding yellow to white in paintings that just makes it look like light. Okay, I had to put the artwork outside. The universe is forcing me to slow down with this, which totally sucks because I want to paint the artwork, and this would be the time frame where I've normally allocated for painting, and here I am just telling you that I'm not painting. What else do I do? I'm gonna go fix my printer so that I can sell you my books at a cheaper rate. You should buy my books. Anyway, so that's outside because of two factors. So it's been overcast / rainy ever since I started this artwork. So it's like we're not progressing as fast as I normally would because the UV is not around. Also, because I used a brand new white, I'm still at the top, and like the way they store the paint is they put, I'm pretty sure it's linseed oil, but there's definitely an oil on the top so that it doesn't dry out by the time you buy it. So, but also that oil kind of, how do I describe this? It's not like it's a total brick wall in between the oil and the paint. It's like the paint's obviously going to absorb some of the oil. So it's like we're still at those top layers within the tube. So I have two tactics: leaving it outside for a few more hours, and I'm going to, instead of continue on the clouds, us together, we're not going to continue on the clouds. We're going to put the little things in there that I want in the artwork, and they're just going to be like the base colors for those things. Then we're going to come back and put details on them later. So that way we do get to paint today, how exciting, and make some progress, and also let the paint dry. So the paint, that little splodgy part that I was showing you close up, so it was like when I touched it, I had paint on my finger, but like not a lot of paint. Like if I was a criminal and they wanted my fingerprint, I would be able to give you that with the amount of paint that was on my finger. That's how I'm describing that to you. So if your artwork has paint like that on it, just put it outside. You're not ready yet. And my other tactic is I'm going to start my next artwork, but I haven't thought up the image to go with the concept yet. And I'm, at this point in time, because of the sake of this artwork, I'm hoping that I think up an image that uses white so that I can get further down the tube and aggressively paint again. That's where we're at. For now, it's just looking over the mountains. And I don't know, what is the UV today? Does Apple even tell you? It's a 3. We're at a moderate 3. Gosh, technology, isn't that great how quickly I whipped that up? I'm pretty sure 3 is like a decent UV. What does it go to? 11. Does it ever go to 11? Holy crap, let's go. No, 3, 3, 3. This is why you wear sunscreen every single day. Okay, well, even though it's overcast, we're getting some good UV. Now I want to learn about UV and be like, well, is it like paint? You know how like we've got the phthalo blue? It's like it's blue and it's incredibly strong, but if I tried to paint through like a piece of fabric, as in like the UV going through the clouds, am I getting enough blue? Okay, we're gonna wait. You're gonna wait. All right, bros, I see it. I didn't end up getting around to it. I started advertising instead, but because I've had a day to think about it and look at it from afar instead of like being this close the whole time, I have some perspective. So this is looking really good, and this is looking really good, and I need to do the exact same things because it's like, okay, if the sun is here, it really hits the bottom. So I need to do the same here, and you do too, and here, and I think that's gonna make a big difference. Right, we are okay to continue. There's no paint on my hands. So that's the green light. For you too, make sure you get to that point, but we're just not gonna paint on there. And step 28. Get some orange, and now I'm gonna mimic these sides because I think that really works. So we're gonna put orange up here. Orange, so red and yellow. I didn't mix any white this time. I just really want this angry side of the clouds. All right, paint it like that. I guess circles, that's what we're up to. But don't go over the white bits. Those are kind of precious. $29. Grab some white, because now that we've put this here and we're essentially, except for this little spot, working on a dry canvas with pretty much a dry brush, we're getting these spots. See how it looks grainy, like pixelated? So if we grab the white, and in this case it is good that it's a fresh white because it adds more moisture, easy to smudge. Gently smudge the parts that look grainy. You could probably also do this with linseed oil. That's too risky. Like this way, like it's such a small amount of moisture, it's fine. Here's the progress. I'm just spending time picking the darker bits of the orange that I mixed up. Another reason to mix your own colors. And trying to mimic this. So it's like, okay, I'm going to the depths that I think would protrude the most. And then I decided to kind of merge these two bits. And I'm going to try and make it 3D. Which we'll see how that works out. Yeah, I think this is turning out way better than the ROBSOM artwork. So now that there's red on my brush, I went, let's step 30. Now get some red and put it in the darker spots. And do the same thing with the white, where you grab the white and then just kind of smudge it a bit. And then that way your brush is gonna be ready for the next cloud. So yes it is. I don't really want it on the top. So I'm just gonna mix the colors just a little bit with whatever's left on my brush. So this is step 31. I love those clickers. You guys should buy them. Yeah, you guys should buy one just for shits and giggles. Right. Oh, I forgot in step 30 to do a little bit here. And there. Okay. And continue. I switched to a smaller brush because the clouds are getting smaller. So continue smudging the colors onto the next cloud. So I've got fuchsia. I'm just going to put a bit here. I know I went over it in the beginning, but that's just how this is going. Yeah, that kind of matches that one. Okay. Do that and then smudge the brush a little bit on the bottom side of this one. Or whatever yours looks like. Yours probably looks different to mine. This is one of those where you can, like, because the previous artwork, the Charles Manson one, you probably couldn't do that one much different to mine. But this one's kind of fun. It's like a choose your own adventure. I think the clouds are reaching a point where I'm happy with them. Where I'm looking at them and be like, okay, I've really improved here. Very good. So now we're going to put the little things in. The sun's going down and the lights aren't installed yet. So got to wrap this up. I'm going to look at the artworks that he previously bought and put little omens to them in here. I think that'd be fun. I definitely want a cactus because that's just what I do. I definitely want a little pear somewhere. So step 32, research, I guess. This is more for me than for you, but you should go to my website and we're just going to have a look at my website. Right, first part of the research. I love this artwork. This is the one hanging on the wall. And I'm going to be very upset when it's gone. So, oh, I also want bunnies. Look, I'm absolutely not doing anything that I just said I would. Okay. So we're going to scatter step 32 around. Is it 30? It is. It's 32. We're going to scatter it around. But for now, I'm going to pop this cactus. It's always the same one. It's always this shape. Let me look at hiatus. So this is one of the ones he bought. I like this shape because it's like a human. Yeah, it's always this shape. Right. So we might have a little bit of green left over, but mix some green. And they're really going to be quite small. I really want this to be small. Like, okay, there's this other artwork that I have hanging, but it's too dark to just walk to it. This one. This one is also one of my favorites because it's hanging up. So see how it's, there's like tiny little trinkets everywhere? Absolutely love it. So we're going to make little cactuses like that. Cacti. There's definitely going to be water in this. That's just something I do with artworks. See how there's like a dead bunny here? It's the concept. So we're just using this one as a reference image. Go to my website and type in flow state if you want to get to this one. Green and yellow. Sorry. Blue and yellow. I'm going to throw one here. Cute. Very cute. Okay, so copy the shape and then I'm also going to put like, I don't know, maybe like 3 around. They're going to be facing different directions. So this is an easy part, just like the tattoo on the Charles Manson painting. Just little cacti around. Now I'm going to paint some pears. But the way I paint pears with a cowhide skin. Love my cowhides. I used to rack up vegan besties. We just got along, not about the meat. And one wouldn't even step into my living room when I got my first cowhide. And they don't step on it, which is weird, but interesting. But anyway, that's how I paint my pears. You got to use the whole cow. So pears, we're just going to do like teardrop shaped white spots. And then we're going to come back with the black. Put it in various spots. I'm going to put one here. I put the green cacti strategically on these colors because they work. Okay. That should have been step 33, the pears. Now, step 34, I'm just putting little lines that are wider at the base somewhere. And then I decided I put a circle and a fatter circle, well, a circle and a fatter semicircle below it for rabbits, bunnies. And this is going to be a pear. I just wanted to make sure that I can see it later because I'm going to forget this one unless I go through the footage and then like go back to the artwork and hopefully I haven't posted it yet and be like, oh shit. Maybe I remember. I don't know. I also want one bunny flying through the air, kind of like my artwork thinking things up. Ooh, speaking of, I should do tiny little horses as well, like that artwork thinking things up, but also like this other artwork that I have, still life. Yeah, it's got miniature horses all through it. It's awesome. Okay. All right, it's really dark. I would like to keep painting, but it's really dark. So, damn it. We'll get to this tomorrow. I was at the point where I was going to look up the artwork because this is going to be the easiest one to... I could just bring it out here. Yeah, I like this one. Also, oh good, the camera stopped. Okay. Still.
Please explain.
My recent artworks are awesome, but my older ones tend to sell more, which is interesting to me. Okay, so if we go to a close-up... I didn't do it. I didn't take a photo of the close-up. There's tiny little horses everywhere. So I'll probably... Oh, look at this one. This one's so fully sick. All right. Let's screenshot that. Or turn my iPad off. Help. All right, I'm just gonna screenshot a few that I like. See, these are the pairs that I always do. I can't believe this hasn't sold. This is such a fucking sick artwork. Yes, okay, so it is still alive technically, even though it looks alive. Oh, I have an idea for an artwork. Anyway, we're coming back to this tomorrow, and that's gonna be the next step. I won't click my clicker yet. I'm adding another step, 35. This is what you're doing. This is another step. Because you need to step away from the artwork. So now I see I've done a good job because of the darkness up here and down there. Like I said before, it's kind of like we need to be far away from the clouds like we normally are. Yeah. Step back and reflect and make sure that you've got the lighting right. And then it just kind of like put two and two together for me yesterday. I was like, now I know how to tell where the sun is. You just look at the clouds. I could just look for the sun. If it's overcast. But you know, like I'm gathering insight. Check it out. Oh, by the way, I'm leaving this empty. I don't know if I left it empty enough because I want the plane to look like it went around and to come out like here somewhere. Or to the front. Ooh, somewhere really cute. He said little, and I really appreciate that it wasn't like dictating how the artwork should be. But now I'm thinking like little could just mean this big as well, because these are little, but I don't want them to overtake what Rob wants in the artwork. Hello team. So, step 36. I have no idea what I said yesterday, but my gut says we're gonna put white. So get your brush. I'm thinking this kind of brush, but smaller. This one looks suitable, like that. And then also a bigger brush, like this, but put the white on this brush. We'll focus on this one, and hopefully you're at the point where I am, where I'm kind of like, cool, I've seen this and this one, and now I've got a good idea of how the cloud should look and how it should face. So if I want this part to look like this, like a chunk that's like that, then that's what I would do. I'm sorry, I don't even know how to describe that. If you imagine a sphere, the part that's facing the sun has the most white, and then you gradient out of it. So that's how I'm tackling this one. I feel like that was incredibly vague and not helpful. Just on the bottom side of whatever you think should be flat, just put white. Yeah, okay. I feel like I should give you actual steps. Go to the other channel. That's the step. Go to the Pretty Damn Slow Vanessa channel and then just paint along. I put lines with this one, so lines here, and now I'm using the fat one to just kind of do that. Because I like this, and I want to mimic that. So here, this is exactly what we're up to. More white. Okay. So leave the edge as is. 37. So I'm gonna do something a little bit dicey because I want the clouds to look softer. But even though when you look at the clouds, when you're in the car waiting for the lights, they do have little patches like this and this. But I want some parts softer. So I dipped this in terps and then got rid of the terps because this is just not a good idea. And I'm just gonna paint circles over some bits. Some bits might not budge at all. By the way, the sun's finally out, so this is gonna improve in time. The paint's gonna improve quicker. As in, I want it to dry. Yeah, I want it to dry. Okay. This brush is a bit rough, which is helpful for this. 38. I've mixed up another orange because that turned out really nice. I think it kind of hits the spot for some of the clouds, especially this one through the camera, like damn. So we're gonna work on this one just a bit more, and I don't think I've really aced it just yet, like getting the depth. I don't know. So I want the closest part to be more dark. And so I'm just going to put a bunch of orange there. That was way too much terps on my brush. See how smudgy it is? Imagine if there was more terps. That'd just be horrific. Right. Okay. So I'm just going to put lots of orange here to try and get that I'm closer look. Yeah, we'll see how this works.
Please explain.
39. I just picked up the white. I accidentally ruined this brush by dipping it into the orange. So it looks like I'm using this for the orange. I can't use it anywhere else. Maybe here. Anyway, so I dipped it into a white, and then just in spots that I believe would be the beneath the cloud, that's where I'm putting it. Also, the edges, you might have a bit of, we're going to call it pixelation. Just kind of smooth those out while you've got white in your brush. 40. We're going to go well above 40 steps. I think I guessed like 50 to 70 at first. Did I? I don't know. I do not recall. So I'm picking out this color again, fuchsia, because I'm going to do the exact same thing just to give it a bit more definition. And then after that, yeah, I'll tell you now. It's going to be like 2 seconds in editing where you figure out what we're doing next. I want to put clouds that are coming towards us, and I don't know how to tackle that yet, but we're going to do that. So for now, get a brush kind of like this one, and just on the darker bits, like it looked a little while ago. I'm done. Literally instantly you figure out what the next step is, but for me it was some time. So we're at step 41, and you kind of want a brush like this. It's fatter than the ones we just used, but small enough for foreground clouds. This reminds me of like when my brother saw this sick setup that I put together. He was like, I have like 3 brushes. He's not an artist, but he is talented. I don't know. I don't know if we're like equally talented or not. Like he there's no practice behind what he does though. So it's like the last time he painted was years ago. Anyway, just giving you some ranking. What I really want to say is I'm better. So I want to show foreground, and to do that I want a cloud in front of another cloud, and it's going to look weird if we keep putting clouds in front of other clouds, but that's how I want this to be done. So we're going back to the first step where you put a white smudge. Yeah, I don't know about this one. We're going to have to show that it's in the foreground with the shadows. Okay, put a bunch of clouds in the front. Yeah, I guess I want one there. I feel like I'm going to forget where they are. 42. So I do this thing in another artwork. You can look up Galaxy on my website, and it's a painting, and I just had so much fun with it because I was trying to learn how to do like the Milky Way kind of thing, and this is how you do it. So I just need you to like scribble on top of your artwork with a brush. That's how you do it. With a few layers. But on this side I want some sort of haze coming over. So we get a smaller brush. Oh, right, and I put a cloud here. I put one here. They're all kind of diagonal, and a big hazy one here. This one's going to be kind of invisible. So yeah, keep doing this. I feel like this should be like the clickbait, the rage bait for YouTube, this one. And then get your big one that has like nothing on it and just kind of smudge it gently. You still want those lines. Continue. So I've just done a couple lines and I've been on a bit of an adventure. Like I got some terps just to make some extra holes in that white that I just did. And then I was like putting it like that. And then it went in my tea. So that was a little side quest for me. Back to this. I was worried, did it go in my chocolate? I make the best chocolate dip. Lactose free, gluten free, sugar free. There's absolutely no ingredients in this. Right, I don't like that. I think that was a mistake. And you do too, so now we're just gonna do this on top of it. Next, wait a second. Okay, cool. Damn it, I hope you just move the brush the way that I move the brush because the camera's not really translating this very well. We've got a nice haze going on there. So, I want a tiny brush. 43. This is not helpful. The state that the white is in, the new state, the freshly opened, not helpful one bit. So do a bunch of dots, preferably in the most pigmented spots. So where there's 100% opacity. I don't think we even get to 100. And try and remember where they are because the white is just so fresh, we have to go over it again. Yeah. For you average artists out there just giving this a go, I think this was probably the most rewarding. So if you watch this full video and then decide to start and then come back to this and you suck, just do this. And I'm not being offensive. You should, eventually when I share my robot video, you should watch me do that because I am absolutely shit at woodwork. But I think the amount of motivation you have makes you not shit and it makes you average. So I'm not saying this to offend you, but like give it a go just a little bit like that. Get one of those cute little canvases and then just scribble over it because it's so rewarding doing that bit. It's not done. It's not done. Not one bit. Right, so now 44. You know what? That should have been step 44. Was that a separate step? I'm sorry, I don't know. I was going to tell you to go over these. Okay, step 44 is two tasks. Go over all the little bits we did yesterday because the white is not pigmented enough, even though it's titanium white. We're just not at that stage in our life at the moment. And also, do spots like these in sections of the cloud. So not in the darkest section, but like parts where you think like, oh, it would be nice to have a bit of a glimmer on that cloud. So like here, the lighter parts. And continue on. $45. There you go, 45. I remember what I was going to do yesterday. These guys. So here's what I see. I see mostly a circle. So I'll do the outside of a circle and then just ditch this part. Or like you could do the whole circle. That's just shading in there. Circle, 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 and then lines. Oops, I drew on my iPad. What the fuck was that? What was that? Alright, I don't know what that's meant to do anyway. It was just a cool little outline. Right, so I'm just going to put that exact one here, but probably smaller. So, actually, here. Same deal with the rest. We're going to have to go over this again. Okay, horses have this weird little belly. I don't know if it's because they're super ripped or I don't know. But yeah, make sure you've got that. Okay, well we got the main shape. This probably should be thinner. Do something like that. At this point in time, it doesn't really matter because the white is so opaque. And then go to my website and do a few more. We're gonna do this one too. Right. I kind of want to do one upside down or something. So we've got the little circle for the head and then the big circle for the head, and we just attach those with a triangle. And then I'm doing this one backwards, so it's a bit of a thinker. So we need some sort of shape like this. And then the other foot goes there. And then big circle for the belly. Okay, so if this arm goes this way, this one goes the opposite way. There you go, that's the... This looks ridiculous. Give it some meat. Bro had some Hungry Jacks. Alright, much better. It's gonna look better with the next layer. I'll do one more because now it's at the point where it's getting to be a bit much, especially when I put the clouds in. So we're reaching the end of this artwork. And I'm looking forward to being like, hey, I did it. Check out the artwork. Check out the videos. How exciting. So I want to put this guy in here. And I kind of want to make it as if he's jumping like this guy. Like jumping from one cloud to another. So I'm thinking maybe this is actually quite fitting. I'm going to put it here. And then I've got to look up this plane, make sure I get it right, and then decide where exactly I'm going to pop it. Yeah. All right. We are continuing step 45. Okay. So here we've got like a rectangle and a triangle at the top with some sticks coming out of it. So here, I'll prove it. Rectangle, triangle, sticks. Oh fuck, the rectangle is meant to be... Okay, redo your rectangle so that it's on an angle. I really like how it looks like it's jumping. Okay. Rectangle, sticks. So we've got some a V there, that's what we've got. And then sticks. See? So easy to paint. I reread the description. I hope bro's not disappointed because he said only the multicolored clouds as it, but it's like I've evolved since then, and my artworks, you can see like a lot of them have very tiny little things in them. This is why I don't do commissions, because people look at an old artwork and they go, I want that. And it's like, no, I've changed. So I hope that he doesn't mind these little, I think it's an improvement. So biplane. Oh, step 47. Are we at 46? 46 is homework. Oh, how cute. Oh, I'm such a fan of this. Oh, I absolutely love this idea. When I read that, I didn't know what a biplane was. And now here you are witnessing me learning. How awesome. Okay, I am very excited to paint this. And I kind of want to make it a little bit bigger because it just looks sick. I'm excited to paint it because it looks sick. Let's find an angle. There's so many angles. I never look something up and then see this many angles. Bro, this is the first biplane I'm painting, so how exciting. Okay. Same as the horse. Here's what we see. I'm going to put white first, just as like a base. So rectangle, line, line, and 2 sticks. That's what we're going to do. But I think I'm going to make it like a decent size. He said small, but these are small. I'm going to make it... I'm the artist. Shut up. Okay. I don't know which one I want. They're all so fun. Look at this one. I need to screenshot this. Or turn my iPad off. Buy this. Oh, that artwork sold. That's such a real shame. Okay. Right, all right. I'm just really excited to paint this, so I'll be back. You know what's funny? I was talking to a cop the other day, and he said that my jacket reminds him... I was going through some security thing. Reminds him of Biggles, and Biggles flies a plane like this. And that's a tongue twister. I'm thinking it's going to be about this big. It's going to be flying towards us. No, there's not all the angles. I'm painting this one, and I'm painting it... Okay. Oh, we're done with research. Now we're at step 47, and paint... Okay. See how the lines are like this, and the image is like this? So I would say that's about like 35 degrees. So instead of 35 degrees that way, we're going 35 degrees that way. That's the easiest way that I can put this for you. So bam, 2 lines. And then we're going to do the same thing here. See how we're using this as measurement? You go down, and I guess we're kind of, it's a transversal. Oh, the other way. Okay. Yes. Oh, shit. Okay. This is longer than I thought. All right. Circle. Yeah, that's the correct circle. Triangle. And it has to stop. Oh, okay. Yeah, technically still is little. I kind of now want to paint a biplane, like, as the subject. Because, I don't know, it hasn't crossed my mind to paint one of these. Okay, so we've got this. Do that. And then we've got... Oh, this is interesting. I'm just wondering about, like, perspective. Okay. Yeah, that seems right through the camera, not through real life. Okay. How do I do this? Okay. There you go. There's our plane. Just kind of beef it up just a little bit, so make it look okay. And then, like, by putting sticks in between them, yeah. Well, I would say that's definitely computer generated. I don't know about that spacing. Let me find a real image. Aha, here we go. Almost fucked it up. Okay, do that. Great. Now that you have your basic shape, I went to that image as well. tidy it up a little bit, because I don't know if it was just CGI or AI. And it's kind of like, oh, CGI is like the old school way where a human's actually doing the work. So either way, it's incorrect. And now I'm looking at this image and being like, okay, there is a dip between that circle at the front and the rest of the plane. It's kind of like a bullet, you know, playing Mario. You know, like in Mario, the bullet, how it's kind of like a bullet shape and it curves at the front, and then you've got a thing. I haven't played it in quite a few years, but that's what it reminded me of. So yeah, just kind of tidy up the shape. And then also I'm gonna have a little bro in here. Just broing out. Okay. Yeah. I don't want to touch too much more. Let's do one more step after I finish tidying that up and go over the cacti once more. But I really want to let the paint sit for a bit, especially this. I'm loving this section. And this one just looks outstanding. Whenever I walk away from the artwork, I'm like, I need to make the other ones more like this. So we're gonna let the paint sit for a day. It started to be overcast again, so I don't know how fast it's gonna settle. But yeah, keep tidying this up for a moment. Before I go on, I redid these. So imagine in real life, you've got like the main body of the plane, and on this side, say you're sitting here, you've got to imagine this side goes up towards the back end of this bit and towards the front end of this bit. So before I just drew some lines, but this time it was a bit more thought out. Like if I had a line coming from this part of the plane going up to the front, what would the angle look like from here? I'm worried that this is a bit high, but then again, if I was like bro sitting right here, I'd be like, no, I want a nice high ceiling. So what is this? Oh, I don't really need that in mine. You know what? I'm gonna lower it just slightly. Yep, I think the biplane was a cherry on top. I think I'm just a total fan of this artwork, which is why I do these non-commissions. Oh, well, this is the first one. Because I want to love the artwork if you don't want to buy it. I want to proudly be like, oh, this is what I have. If anyone else wants it, snap it up. So I'm really happy with how this artwork landed, and I'm totally cool if Rob doesn't like it. Cool. So we're going to make some green. I just had a lot of white on my brush. So I was like, you know what? I really don't mind if it's a light green. So did I even click that? 48. Go over all the cacti you have. And then we'll wrap it up for today because of logistics. Hectic. Look at it go. Love it. Fantastic. Okay, so I just want to stand back and point out this cloud. Damn, it looks really good. And the next one across, actually, it took form. I hope yours looks great as well. Right, okay, cool. Now we just get to admire it for a day and chill and think about it and do these ones for about 5 more hours. Just kind of make a stance here. Look at it from this angle. Yeah, still admiring. I don't think it's coming out in the camera because the sun's not out, but this was a great idea, in my opinion. You guys did a good job with that one. Big fan, big fan. Still looking at it. You know what? I think we're just gonna do one more step. 49, grab your orange. Grab the fat brush of the orange because I'm going to forget. I'm out of turps, which is why I dipped it all the way in. I'm definitely going to forget. But this I didn't see this coming. I actually did capture the depth. Guys, we got it. Okay. I'm just doing a really rough, I want the cloud coming at us. So just attacking it with red. Meh. And I don't think I should put too much white. Honestly, this should be a terps task. The white, just because it's really thinned out. Yeah, okay, that's enough of a reminder for tomorrow. You essentially want your brush dry. I'm literally like out of terps, which is why I just recklessly put it on the canvas. So the reason I don't want white and I just want red is because at this point, if you stand back far enough, it kind of looks like this cloud's coming at us, which is exactly what I wanted. So if the cloud was coming at us, we would be in the color vapor instead of looking at the vapor reflecting the sun. But then I think about fog, and fog is a little bit white. Okay, we're just gonna do this and then reflect on it for a day. You know when you're an artist and you buy everything online? Because it's better for the environment because they're taking a shuttle bus to me as opposed to me going out individually for every single item. I will get through this, but fuck, that's a lot of terps. Like, was it a mistake? Because I thought I was buying one that size. I don't know, I just laughed when I saw it. I was like, this is hilarious, thank you. Morning, team. We're pretty much done with our artworks. Like, I'm thinking we're gonna wrap it up tomorrow, but now that I think deeply, we're gonna wrap it up in a few days. But the reason being is because the white is a brand new white. Like, god damn it. So, I should really have two whites going if I'm gonna paint this much, but no, whatever. I'm just, anyway. So what we're gonna do is the final steps is we're gonna make this a little more foggy, a little bit more like, oh, look at this galaxy over here. And we're gonna make this cloud protrude a bit more so it really looks like it's attacking us. Like we wanna feel like we're in the cloud kind of. And I don't know if we're gonna achieve that, but that's the goal. And with the horses, we do have to put more white on them. And that's the part where I was thinking like it might be a couple more days because each day we're just gonna come back and be like, okay, got some white on the horses. And with this one though, it doesn't matter if like normally I'd be like, oh, I kind of want a really solid base color, but as long as the next color I use has enough opacity, it really doesn't matter what color I put here. And you can choose what color plane you want. So I think that's all. Yeah, that's all. I think I was really close with my prediction of like 50 to 70 steps. Cool. Sick. I'm really excited to wrap this one up and like present it and be like, look what I have for you. You don't have to take it. Step 50. Get your white once again. And the little brush, the little pink brush that I'm always whipping out. We want this one. And go over your horses. So we're still sticking with the fact that this is a rectangle with a bunch of triangles and sticks. I was watching back one of my old videos. Well, actually, no, I'm still editing one of my old videos, and there's a lot of music in the background, and I like it. Some people do like it, but it's not very Bob Ross of me, so I don't know. Well, hopefully this doesn't bore you. I've also watched like mute videos of people making jewelry, and I really find it so fascinating. Like almost to the point where I'd look it up and try and buy some, but then like, I'm like, oh, I'm doing a lot of activities. I will at some point. 51. That reminded me of that episode of Futurama where Fry has to click the button and it's like a giant target and he misses. I'm just trying to get some damn black on my brush. have a little bit. Okay. It's because that's the ideal. It's not fresh and super oiled up. Right, so now grab some black on your brush and put little spots wherever you put pears. Or I guess if you chose to do something else, then add details to that something else. 52. We're going to now shade the bunnies and the horses. I totally forgot that I put shadows for other clouds. So this might take a little longer than what I just predicted. So grab your black and check out the horses. Pretty much, oh fuck, the sun's down here. Damn it. I think it's just muscle memory why most artists just pick one spot where the light is in all of their artworks. Like, that's just why I do it. Plus, I really like the light coming from that end. All right. There was once this question on the internet and someone was like, how many light sources can you put in an image or a digital artwork or something like that? And I was like, you can technically put 360 by 360, but there comes a limit before you start pissing off the viewer. So you can technically entirely light up your artwork and have no shade whatsoever and look like a cartoon, but I think at some point you will start to annoy the viewer. There's a tangent. Okay, just kind of do that. So with this horse up here, the shade's going to be there. And then on the top side of the belly. And then on the neck. And same with the rabbit. 53. Grab your white. And instead of, well, we're going to dark shade and light shade on all the cacti. Oops, I keep forgetting. Okay, light is on this side. And then put dark on the opposite side. 54. There's black on this brush. Wait, did I? Yes, I did say that. Oh, well, I already clicked the clicker, and I'm not going to click it 53 times again. So put black on the opposite side of where your white is. Don't drown out the green. Like, that's kind of good the way it is. Just be careful to keep the green there. And smudge it. 55. Oh, I painted the ground. I have yellow on my brush. Put whatever color you want. And it just seems fitting to put a hazy yellow cloud here. There we go. Now the paint goes further. And we want it on top of, in front of the orange one. 56. Do this for all the foreground clouds where you put the color and then you put, so yellow, red was the darker version across the rainbow that I wanted to do. So did that, but not really too much. And then I'm worried that it's not differentiating from this one. So do the dark spots in the dark spots, but not too much because the cloud's close to us. And the light spots in light spots, and do that for all the colors. So here I think I've got a cloud here. And since there's magenta, fuchsia on my brush, I'm just gonna go over the cactus just a little bit to show that like it's in the depths. I did it with the yellow, you can see here. Great. I stepped away from the artwork, and that's right. That looks correct. Oops. Okay, forgot about that. Okay, keep going with the rest. With this one here, once I put the color and the white, I went back and put some terps on my brush and dabbed it out, and then took away the paint. And I'm finding that if you do it too, we're going to get like a nice sharp edge of the cloud. So these ones intentionally aren't going to look as aggressive because they're technically closer towards us, and that's how I feel like it would be in real life. Like if fog is in front of you, from far away you can see the actual impact of the color, but from close up you're just kind of, it's fog. It's in the definition. I'm too close to see how this is panning out, and because I've decided the artwork's coming to an end, I'm not sure if I think I'm on point, but I don't know. We'll see over the next 2 days. So what I'm doing is I'm putting red and yellow up here and smudging it in, and when there's leftover paint on my brush, I'm putting it down here to get the forward haze. And I'm not sure if it's having impact or not, but we'll figure it out in the next day. And then, as you can see, popping white on top. So essentially the same as the other clouds, but this one's just more transparent. And oh yeah, there's a new cloud here and a new cloud here. I'd like to put a little bit of yellow on them. And I really love how this one shows that it's in front of the other one. That one looks sick. I haven't really aced it with this one. So tomorrow we're going to put a little bit of white here. And that's not something I'm going to forget. Yeah, and then we color the biplane. And that's it for today. We need to let it sit. I'm a fan. Like, it is a mess of colors, but is done strategically. You guys did a fantastic job with this one. Yeah, it's done with tact, so it doesn't look like a mess. You know, like a clean rainbow versus a messy rainbow where you accidentally smudge all the colors. I feel like the colors aren't smudged, but they are. I don't know how to describe that actually. So we're getting another brush. 57. And you're going to dip this brush in a very small amount of terps and into the white. And you just, this is what you do. Yeah, this looks good. Do this. And then I'm going to use this brush. Gently smudge it. See, I feel like where it's like silent and you can hear the rain, I've channeled the Bob Ross. Except for the camera work. I'm so sorry. I'm going to get better at this. Right, okay, so you can see in real time how it's turning out into something actually quite sick. Now, I put too much here. So the resolution is I'm dipping it in terps, but like not really washing off the terps. I really want to just get rid of what I just did. So I'm narrowing it in. It's kind of like sand. You're just pushing the paint around. Quite literally. The terps is the little hands. Yeah, I still don't love it. I'm going to remove more. 58. So now, because your brush has white on it, I want you to go over all the dots and then just kind of smudge it around. So this one's going to be really obvious. Create a radius of extra white, as if like it's glowing, because that's the goal. We want them to glow. And then the next step, we're going to dot them back in. Actually, I'm going to forget where they were. Dot them back in as you go along. So I feel like this is self-explanatory. Oh, what's on this brush? Am I going to regret this? Yes, I would have regretted that. Okay. I really do need another set, so if you guys want to help me out. I'm doing a lot of projects in the background which require all my funds. I'm trying to reduce the price of digital artworks, so I need to save up 15.5 grand. And I'm also printing my books in-house so that I can reduce the price for you guys and make them extra fully sick. So I'm also, with any spare money, I'm collecting machines that I need for that. So if you want to help me out and you really appreciate this tutorial, please check out my website, buy an artwork, or if you want like a specific tutorial, feel free to do a non-commission. Okay, I feel like this is enough examples. 59. So now you're gonna drop one of these brushes and I don't know where I'm going with this, but this doesn't have to be accurate. So this is totally fine. I just kind of want to lean in to some sort of trail coming from the plane. This could be, oh, we're gonna copy this. Okay, we're gonna do that. And it's gonna be a bit tricky because I don't wanna hit the plane with any terps. Also, I tried topping up this bunny here and really that needs time. Okay, now we're gonna use this brush. This one, it's also kind of ruined, which is good. And it's got the thickness. Excellent. All right, this works fantastic. That's what we've got here. It has become quite busy. Okay, I'm just gonna go over that once. And also because I didn't know what I was doing here, I want to make a bit of a gap. Yeah, awesome. Especially this bit. I like that one. 60. Yeah, that said 60. I always imagined the plane was going to be blue. I thought it was a different kind of plane when I first read what I need to do. And I thought it was like a plain plane, like a modern one. So I was thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna make it really little.
Please explain.
This is a really cool looking plane and I'm not gonna make it really little, but every time I imagined the plane, I imagined it being blue. So I'm gonna use my cobalt blue. I forgot the word. Yeah, it is cobalt. Because the white it's half transparent. So if it weren't that transparent, then I would probably maybe think about phthalo blue, but instead, no. So I'm gonna put the blue pretty much everywhere except this little spot. This is gonna go black, so not really. And that's it for today. I'm worried that the plane does blend in too much. Nothing I can do about it now because I do want it blue. I really do. So I'll just let the paint dry and see how it works. I think everything else is on track. So with these little things and the white horses and the white bunnies, I'm predicting tiny touch-ups for at least 2 more days, potentially 4. 61. I was watching Bob Ross to get tips on how to present my video, and he doesn't count the steps, but I think it works in terms of clickbait. And it's like, well, if I'm going to say how many steps, I should probably actually count them. Right. We are going to go over the bottom of the clouds just maybe once or twice more. Probably just once or twice more. Because I feel like we're near the end. I just want to finish them off a little bit. Yeah, I have too much paint on my brush. That's why I'm not smudging them just yet. Ooh, here. Oh, did we miss that spot? Oh, there's so much paint on the brush. Oh, here. Okay, well, we're going to come back to this one. Good. Okay, finally. Wait, I didn't even click the button. Wait. Wait, is this even a new step? I don't know. Yeah, it's specific. 62. Right. I'm just going to re-record this bit. So put a line here, and I'm just going to paint it twice. You can do yours twice too. And then because the sun's down here, we are brushing inwards to show the reflection of the sun and definition between these two clouds. And we're going to, oh fuck, I was meant to do it on this one. All right, whatever. It's on this one. This was a good cloud. How did that even happen? 63. Go over all the little white trinkets that we've got. So like over here. I'm wondering if I've changed my mind and thinking it's better to do the black first. Because, okay, I'm wondering if it's better to do the black first because once you put the black on the dry paint, it's black. But once you put black on white that's already wet, it's grey. Yeah, I changed my mind. Let's do black blah, blah, blah. Let's do black first, and then we'll get to white. I just want to point a few things out. So this little one here, I'm just putting firm lines for now because the white's going to smudge it. So firm line opposite to where the sun is, same here and there. And I'm lightening up on the cacti because they just seem a bit dark for me at the moment. And this guy, so this is where you can turn a mistake into a genius idea. So it kind of looks like the way that I drew the legs, the horse is actually, these are the two front ones, and he's just like, oh no, I've got to reach to the other side and looking to the other cloud. So I like it that the horse looks a little funny. And so we're going with that and put black here. Oh, and then what I wanted to point out is I did this wrong. So I did this according to how I'd normally paint the lighting, but I did it wrong. Okay. Here we go. Now I have the white brush. And that's a bit intense, so it's really intense. Fuck. That's a lot of black. Like the sand idea, just kind of push the paint back to where it's meant to be if there's too much. We're gonna go over this again tomorrow with white again, so it's okay if it's too dark, just don't do it intentionally. All right, with a horse, so you're gonna have to actually look at a horse. I just kind of remember. So they've got, well, it's kind of, they've got a wider bit here, so you'd want a bit more shading there. And then normally I'd put hair, so I'll just give you the prequel of that. You want wider shading here, wider shading there. Some on the legs, wider shading here. The wider shading is if the horse is fatter in that section. So they always have quite a gut, and they've always, horses look really ripped in general. So their arms are always really ripped and there's always muscle here and there. So, oh, same with the bunnies. These are a lot less realistic. But yeah, wider shading in the parts that are fatter. We'll do this one together. What a funny horse. Okay. Well, alright, we'll do this one because the pairs are just circles. You kind of got that. So here we've got a belly. So on top of the belly you want shading. and then blend it into the white. That one looks sick. It's gonna have to go a bit lighter soon. I just really wanted the black in there, even though we're gonna take it away by putting more white on top. Get this brush and dip it in the terps, and we're gonna make the main. Fuck, that's way too much terps. Brush it off after you dip it in the terps. Shit. Damn it. It's starting again. Fuck. God damn it. Bob Ross, ex Gordon Ramsay. Alright. See, this is tricky. You need terps on it and you can't brush it off, but not too much. Ooh, not happy with it, but at least we got a smudge. So we're gonna wait until tomorrow and then we're gonna brush it back with that same brush. I like this one. I think I told you, or in the previous video, this one's really firm. I think I cut this one. They wouldn't sell a brush like that. It's an odd brush. Chocolate. You really need to see close-ups. Right, this is the shading on them. That one looks a bit rough. Now that I'm putting a camera on it. Right. This is how they look, not the final form, because when you sit back, they're way too noticeable. It was just to get the shading and like to have the option to have super dark spots later. Even though I could have done it the other way around where I did white first and then gray and then waited until it dried. But the white at the moment, because it's a fresh tube, that problem keeps coming up over and over again. So I preferred to do it this way. We're back. So you should be able to do this with your artwork. Beautiful. I let it sit for 2 days instead of just a little bit. So step 64, get your white. We're essentially just going to repeat this for a few times. So this one seems quite obvious. What I'm doing is I'm starting in the lightest spots, and I do want some of that darkness, just not a lot of it. And I have too much white on my brush, so we're going to split it between two horses. So just generally go over each one with like a little gradient going towards the top. So more paint on the bottom, less on the top. Step 65. Get your black on the tiniest brush, and after this step, I'm just letting you know, we're gonna have a little bit of a pause and put it out in the sun, because the sun's finally out. It's been like weeks. For some reason, I don't know, I didn't really look into it at all. I was just like, oh, it's another rainy day. But the sun's out, which means that we're at the point of this artwork where it should, because there's so many layers underneath it, even though it's a new tube, it should dry a lot sooner or become touchable within a few hours if we pop it out in the sun. So what I'm doing here is just details, I guess. So we all know the horse has got an eye and a nose, and we want a bit there. Oh, we definitely want some details here. Tricky. I'll come back to that. It got some extra time outside because I sold 3 artworks, fuck yeah. And I have to prepare them to post, and I'm not going to be done until midnight. But I think I can find 20 minutes to get back to this and then do a few touch-ups so it's ready for the next touch-ups. But then I was thinking like, oh shit, tomorrow I have to post the artworks, but then I also have to deliver another artwork. And I will be getting a robot to do this for me at some point in time. But I think I can squish in another 20 minutes tomorrow to do more touch-ups. But yeah, look at us go. Look at your artwork, it looks sick. I think specifically, look at the difference that, whoa, there you go. Now you can look at the difference. It's making a difference. I like that they're not aggressively standing out anymore. It's midnight. I finally got it packed. That's just how long it takes. Getting boxes made up, so it doesn't take that. But like half the work isn't making the box anyway. So we are going to put extra white on the parts that want to be extra white, just because that's the most important part right now. Like you can see it's not really working, and it's because the white is so new. So just do that. It's not going to make a huge difference, but it'll make a worthwhile difference by the next time we get to our artwork. On all the tiny little spots. I guess that's count as a step. I'm trying to keep it under 70 so that my guess was right. Even though it doesn't matter at all. I made some time. Fuck yeah. So I think I can squish in about 20 to 25 minutes before I deliver that to Canada and then the digital artwork to Sydney. And then, which is perfect, that's exactly how much time I wanted for this, because I didn't realize that I'd spent 20 minutes just touching up yesterday, and then another 10. It felt like 1 minute, and then I'm going to prop it up against the window, and unfortunately it's rainy again, so I'm not sure how much it's going to help, but hopefully when I get back, I can do more details, and you can too. Since we're doing the same thing, and I feel like it might be a little bit of a hit to my ego if I didn't guess how many steps correctly, we're going to continue yesterday's step as today's step. So keep touching up, even though you've let it dry for a little bit. So exact same task. I feel like I'm watching Bob Ross videos to help me, to help you. So I feel like I need to actually show you. That's all we're doing. Just, okay, so how do I explain this? I'm putting extra white on the whitest parts. That's, yeah. There we go. Okay, here's another one. This guy. We're on Struggle Street with this one. It is going to look majestic when I'm done. I just... okay. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Just extra white on the whitest bits. Cool. Okay, right. Now we're doing a new step. 67. So remember this bit here? I really do want a bit of a silver lining, but not much. And, ooh, maybe? I don't know. I think I want on here. Which brush? I thought this was pink. I swear to God, I thought that was pink. Oh, maybe because I'm always picking up this one. Anyway. And smudge it inwards just a little bit. Barely at all. And this one, smudge it upwards, or wherever your clouds ended up being. I'm thinking I want to hide some of the horses behind some clouds just a bit more, because it is a little busy, but it's busy with the wrong colors. Like I did want white horses, but the gray, I personally don't like gray as a color in general, and you'll see me avoid it like the plague. So I'm avoiding it like the plague, and I'm thinking maybe this guy's going to be a little bit behind some mist. I want to prove that I can do a good job there. We can all do a good job there, so maybe. And maybe this one, I don't know. I still want them visible, but that's where we're at. Step 68. I'm doing these next 2 steps backwards because I have to go deliver that artwork to Canada. So normally we would mix green. That's what I'm avoiding, the mixing the green, because I could use the green elsewhere, but it would be a waste if I mix it now. So instead, we're going to do the black bit first. So normally I'd put the green. I didn't even tell you what we're doing. It's a surprise. Normally I'd put the green and then put the black shading. And you can see it's so small, I guess it doesn't really matter. I put way too much terps on the brush. Don't put that much. Because because of the fabric, it's just gonna seep into the creases, and it's like, no, I didn't put the paint there. Don't do that. So we're putting little leaves on all the little pears. And they're gonna, like this one, for example, it's going to be behind the cloud, but that's fine that it's there. Maybe just dab it. Dab it. Yes. So that it's not black. Great. Put little leaves on all your pears. I misjudged. I think I'm running late. All right, showing off to my neighbors. We're back. It's the next day. Sun's out, so we're gonna paint a little bit, put it actually outside, get some UV, paint some more after I edit the footage for this, ready to share. I forgot if I said the guy's name in here. His name's Rob. I feel like that's not too revealing. Right, so 69. We're gonna mix some blue. Sorry, I was looking at the blue when I said that. We're gonna mix some green. You know that test? I did a study for people who have synesthesia, and they would give you numbers and give you colors, but I mix, so my numbers have colors. 8 is brown and 6 is a dark green. Not that dark green. That, like a dusty green. Yeah, and they would give you 2 colors or 2 numbers, and they would say associate them, but on one of them they put green and brown, or they put 6 and 8, and they mix the colors. And I was like, oh, with that one pair I always mix it wrong. But I was like, give me any other pair, give me a 5 and a 2. Anyway, 5 is this pink and 2 is a swan. All right. Fuck, everything's falling apart. All right, we want a brush that's just any brush. So this is my shitty brush. And put some terps on it, grab some blue. Honestly, no, grab the yellow first, because now we have blue on our brush, and that's just not that fun. This is way too much. Don't put that much blue down. Right, grab some yellow. We're gonna need a lot of yellow because of the amount of blue that I put down. We really only needed like the brush to just touch the blue. Beautiful. See how bad this brush is? Okay, mix it up just a bit more because we need like a super tiny amount. Great. Grab this brush. Yesterday was such a roller coaster. I went all around the world. So unfortunately, I came home and collapsed and just didn't wash my brushes. One day shouldn't be too bad. Okay. Here we go. Put tiny. You can't even see it. I can't even see it, but we're putting it on there so it's there in case someone else sees it. We just want it there. Now that we have green on our brush, we're going to continue that and just put a little bit on the cacti, just so that we've got like different shades of green on them. You don't really have to do much anyway. I smudged it in a way that I didn't want to. There we go. Beautiful. Now, if you look at yours in real life, you'll probably see a nice tiny gradient there. All right, we need an actual smudging brush. I still have green on my brush, we're going to do a little bit more as well and throw some green in front of this pear. If you have something on a cloud that's green, you just want to dust on top of it. It's not really being much of a, there we go. And because that green's a bit different, wow, you can really see it through the camera. Yeah. I'm kind of wondering, like, am I going to see it more later? Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're putting more throughout the cloud, so it just kind of blends in. That does change the cloud quite a bit. Cool. Up here as well, and with this one too. And I think that's it for me for now. Check yours. All right, we hit step 70. White on the same brush, make sure it's the tiny brush. So I want to point out that last time I put white, I just made sure that there were little hooves on the horses. I guess they're not really going to be white hooves, but if you've looked at horse hooves, they do look dirty, but I guess it depends what the horse is up to. Anyway, so white, super white highlights. And next we're going to go around with the same brush, but black. And then we're just going to like alternate for a little bit, just to make sure that we've got like the details. So with this horse, copy this. I don't know how else to describe that. So little spot there, spots there. We want to go all the way into the eye. And that's going to make a difference. Trust me on it. All right, so Bro's looking pretty good over there. What's the next one? We want highlights here. Ooh, and we definitely want highlights on the cacti, for sure. We want them shiny looking. Good. I was watching Bob Ross and I was like, you know what? It's not actually that boring to watch. I'll just keep the camera on for a little bit. I fucking put white. Damn it. Alright. This horse is a tough one. Because their legs are different. They don't fold the way that ours do. They fold. Let me look at a horse. I didn't look one up. I just kept painting and this is how we landed. So bro is really twisting for this jump. Yeah, when I put the black, we'll see. Good luck with your horse too. I hope it turned out fantastic. $71. Same brushes, just dip them in terps and wipe them down. We're doing the exact same thing with black. And these are changes that pretty much no one's going to see. But you don't want to do a shit job. You don't want to be like Marguerite, so. Like that. That's a bit of a mess. I'll come back to it after it dries a bit. Okay. So just looking at it from a bit further back, I was like, it kind of needs a bit more. Perfect. Okay, so pretty much what we're doing is just shading the opposite side of the white. Just a really small amount though, not too much. Right. All right, team, you're probably not going to like what I'm about to say, but we've done the base colors for all the little trinkets. Probably not too much detail needs to be done, but we definitely have to like stop and enter flow state. That's very important. And paint. Very important. It looks really good in the sun. It looks really good in clear light. I think that's what I mean. It looks really good. Your artworks look fantastic. I think that one looks fantastic. Just a bit of pink on the ear, but not yet. Right now we're still doing details. I messed that one up. It needs to dry again. $72. So we're gonna look at this plane. Really excited to wrap it up. Not to stop painting it, but to just be like, oh, look at this painting I've done. Very excited for that. So can't wrap it up today. I don't think so. We're gonna have to see how these go in the sun. Yeah, the horses aren't doing that great, but we'll see. Until then, we're going to focus on putting detail on the biplane. So we've got two little holes here, and I'm not really sure if they all have two holes. I don't think so. Kind of like kayaks, you can choose. But we're going to put two. So put a brush like this. This is a really tough brush. Dip it in the tips and scratch it back in two places. One right behind this thing. Okay. And then after that, we're going to get the dark blue. Okay, we're going to go well over 70 steps. Maybe like 85 or something. Great. Okay, we should have two mediocre dents now. Great. Okay, and while we still have white on this brush, grab the white and we're going to copy the wheels on this one. I don't know. Like, it's not white wall, but I don't know if they're all looking white wall-esque. Cute. Okay, get dark blue. So blue, I'm going to go with, I forgot the name. Starts with a C. Cobalt blue and black. There it is. That one, I guess, mix something kind of like that. And I do like all the kind of patterns. Well, I guess it's just one pattern. It's one stripe. Oh, there's another stripe. I do like those. Okay, let's leave room for one. I'm feeling yellow. So we'll put a yellow stripe there. Or a spot. It'd be funny if I made it look like a bee. And then blue bees. Right. I feel like putting a bunch of 8s on it. I went to Sydney to pick up that digital artwork and deliver it. And I think I was behind every single car that was ever issued with 4 8s in the number plate. Couldn't have seen more number plates with 4 8s in them. So I feel like playing with that. Right, so just put it in all the dark spots. This one's got some shading at the bottom. When I don't think we should do that. Just a small amount. There you go, that's better. I'm thinking of building something to hold the phone. Because on the time lapses, it's going to look like I'm just painting with a phone in my hand the whole time. Right, okay, so blend that in. Got my yellow. Oh, that's actually a lot. All right. We're painting with a lot of yellow stacked up on this brush. Right, so because of the yellow in nature, it's quite opaque. Maybe that's the fallow version of yellow. Because I think I do have both tubes and I hadn't figured out what the difference is between them. So maybe I'll check on that. Very cute. Very cute. I wouldn't mind if this was a little yellow. Maybe this one too. YOLO. All right. Now we want white on the brush to make it thicker. I'm thinking maybe at this point I need to put it in the sun for a little bit so I can get back to it in a couple hours. Otherwise, I think I might be missing the opportunity. I threw a little black on here. That worked so well. Just the tiniest amount of black. Since there's yellow on the brush, I'll wipe the black off. Go to the cacti, and I think this is a good addition to them. It's just gonna make them glow. Okay. And also miss a little bit, just kind of go around it. Right. All right, camera stopped recording. I guess it's time to stop painting for now. This one's not that glowy, so if you have the same issue, just pop some white on it as well. Oh shit. And then bring back the black. All right. There's the last one. Is this a 14-year-old photo? Oh, wait, no, this is a screenshot. I feel like it might be. Because the only thing I'm questioning is why is the guy in the passenger's seat? Like, if I designed a plane, I'd be calling that the passenger's seat. But the rest seems legit. Like, from a photo editing point of view, this is either done really well or it's real. I think it's real. Specifically because of this, no one would edit that in. Or like you would have to be paying attention to details a lot like I am. Yeah, it just seems real. See that small... Bro, why are you in the passenger seat? All right, this is going to be a separate step. 73. So I went around this. I was just putting details and now I'm like, you should put the details too. So I just put a little bit of a circle around so that it looks lumpy, like a Jats. Yeah, like a Jats. And after that, I noticed that this is actually smaller. Ooh. Thinking about proportions here. I don't want to cut in But realistically we should, but I was thinking I could just make this slightly higher by a mil. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. And it does curve down a little bit, so we only have to make it slightly higher here. Okay. Right, what's next? I noticed the feet, the wheels, are more downwards. All right, erase yours. So grab this brush and put some terps in it. And take it back. I've been learning about watercolor paper. I didn't need to. I needed to learn about mixed media paper. But this chick brought it up with me ages ago. She seemed really passionate about it. But now, in hindsight, it makes sense why she was interrogating me. Not because of the watercolor paper, because my coloring books are mixed media friendly. And I was saying watercolor, thinking watercolor pencils. But she was thinking watercolor paint. But it's a coloring book, so it didn't click until like now. And that debate was years ago. So I've been learning about watercolor paper. And because it's made of cotton fibers, sometimes it's 25%, depending on how smooth and rough it is. And so the lower cotton, the smoother it is. Also, the hotter the press, the smoother it is. So if you get cold press 100% cotton, you're essentially drawing on something that's been like this, that's been pulped up. So it reminded me of this because there's a few little flakes coming off, and it's like if you put watercolor and scratched into the paper like that, you would get all these little fibers come up because it's wood pulp if it's not watercolor paper. But what's interesting is the 25% cotton paper. I feel like no one cares. So anyway, we've erased our feet, and because the cloud got scratched back just a little bit, throw some back in. And start again. So I should have some blue left over. Actually, this is a fantastic opportunity because now I can work on the bottom of the plane as well, and I can widen it there. So the legs come out of the plane. Oh no, this isn't enough paint. That's okay though. Back to it. Okay, so I'm looking here, and it seems as if I'm looking at different models of planes. So remember how there was one that had like a dip around the propeller? Obviously, the propeller has to have like room below it. So I'm looking at different models. And this is the guitar thing from the previous artwork all over again. Either way, we're going to paint it so that the propeller has room to spin. So just finish the whole circle with all its little things in front of this thing. And now I'm seeing that this feels out of proportion. Well, it is kind of... Oh! Okay, well, if it's slanted, this leg really needed to be here. Right. This is how the plane looks. I think it's coming along. Very excited about it all. A little upset about this guy. Wait a second. Wait a second. There we go, all fixed, all fixed. Right, we're gonna throw this in the sun for a bit because I'm very excited to do the final touches where I put extra cloud on top. And I've been looking at the clouds lately, and I'm painting different clouds to Bob Ross because I've been watching a little Bob Ross. But so I was looking at the clouds on a really windy day, and when they're windy, they're really wispy. But this is not windy. So what I'm getting at is I'm thinking, like, should I make them a bit more wispy? But I'm thinking no. I really like how this has turned out, and I looked at ROBSOM the other day and I was like, damn, I really leveled up with this one. Very happy with it. Let's get in the sun. Guys, it's Jesus time. I'm turning Jesus number next Friday. Very excited about how this turned out. Super, super, super excited. Look at this. And this one, okay, so the owner, if Rob decides to buy it, he might have to explain to some people what's going on here. So it's like, okay, let me point it. So we've got front leg, it's bent, and the back leg just happens to be behind it and extending. So bro's doing some splits here, and the other front leg is there. And I might have to touch it up again tomorrow. Very happy with all the miniature things and how they're looking. Very happy with them, especially like this one. Super happy with this one. This one just worked out. And this one, great. So this guy, I don't know. He's just a bit weird looking. I think that's it. And I think I'm up to the point where I'm just going to put, we are going to put little pink lines on the ears of the bunnies. And I think I'm going to let it sit in UV for a little bit longer and come back to it, because the last step that we do is going to be aggressively painting over these with tactic. So we just don't want the beneath layers to start smudging. Yeah. Just continue touching up for a little bit until like you're really happy with your horses as well. I think the horses were the main struggle here. All the other ones didn't really give me grief. Step 74. So I guess I just naturally do this, but now I'm looking at it and being like, I need to tell you this. So here, this is a good example. I just put a dot of black and smudged it only in very specific spots. So dot of black and smudged it. So just a really, really, really small amount. It makes a big impact. So we're going to do one here. See how small that is? Bam. Well, I guess you really have to see this in real life. I'm just very excited about it. It looks excellent. So just do that in all, like here, we can do another one right here. That was probably a bit low. Yeah, that was a bit low. Because we accidentally got rid of its head doing that. Okay. Yes. Oh, there's too much taps on the brush. Make sure there's like essentially no taps on your brush. Yeah, that was way too much taps. There we go. Teeny tiny little black spots, and then just smudge them. 75. Mix red and white. A really small amount of red because it's extremely potent. And we are going to do the tiny ears.
Please explain.
Just, oh wow, can you even see that? Oh, you can't even, can you see it now? I'll get the arrow to point at it. You can see it in real life very clearly. In fact, I'd say it's probably a bit too red. So on all the bunny ears, and I guess I'm going to demonstrate, but does it even matter? And just a little spot on the horse ears. You can see that one. That's probably a bit much. Do that and then put it in the sun. And I don't know, I give it a good full day to dry before we do the final touch. All right, with some of the bunny ears, I only did it on one, like it's turning its ear to listen to you, like this one. And this is a bunny piloting because I was like, yeah, This is not a painting for me that I'd put humans in. So it's a bunny piloting. And then I still had red on my brush. So I was like, you know what? It's time to like start the cloud on top of these ones. This one's a bit hidden, but I guess that was my goal. Just paint over them. But not fully. I think I'm gonna scratch that back just a little bit. Shit. Okay, I'm just gonna dab some white on top of it tomorrow. And then maybe a little bit here. Oh, I forgot that one's fragile. Don't touch that. Okay, well, I have red, so I might as well just... All right, we're done for the day. I just had an idea. I can do this with my pinky. Bro's got some wind that you can actually see it. That's kind of funny. Where's another one? Oh, that's just going to be a reminder to do more later. That's kind of funny. Now admire your artwork. Don't admire your artwork. Put it outside. Be responsible. Now you can admire your artwork. So beautiful. Well done, guys. It looks so good. I should hold it up to the sky because it might blend in perfectly. There we go. I can't tell the difference. As my neighbors are all... there's just 3 of them out there right now. Right. 76. I'm going to start off with an orange or... No, I'm going to start off with yellow and go through the rainbow and paint some fuzz like we did here over all the things. I never grabbed this brush. Oh, there's definitely... Okay, so don't put... We want a dry brush here. Don't put any terps on it. I feel like I should put some white as well. I feel like I should. Same deal, super dry brush. This is one of those where I'm like, oh, I don't know. And then I'm going to look back at it in a week and be like, damn. Okay. Just a little bit of white on the bottom. Even though we do want it jumping between clouds, but here we go. Did I just undo the jumping between clouds? Oh, I don't know. I think I'm good with that. This one's clearly jumping. This one's having a little jumping festival. Grab the red. I forgot about that. That was sick. That was such a good addition. All right, where's the next one? This guy. So I want this one to be half in the cloud as opposed to this one dropping down because I like this one. I don't want to change it too much. Good, need some white. Awesome. Oh, we forgot this guy. I kind of like that for some reason. That's intense. All right, what's next? This guy? That one looks good. All right, keep going. You've got the gist. All right, let's run this up to 80. 77. Damn it, I've got pink in my white. Okay, because of this reminder, I was like, cool, all right, where else are we falling from the sky? From over here. Over there. And so we need some sort of, this is going to actually be the very last step before the signature, but just anything at the moment to show some sort of movement. I'm thinking I want to blur the background. So like the background as in this, I want to blur it a little bit eventually. But for now, it's in motion, so we're not actually going to see it. Yeah, that was that step. That was super useless, that step. No, it was incredibly useful. People are going to look at that one day, and then this, and then be like, wow, the detail. Okay. So, 78. Grab these two brushes, and so this one's going to be for black, this one's going to be for white. And just fix up the horse a little bit. And we're also going to put tiny little spots on there as highlights, as well as a little line here. We finally did it. It's really small, so the details are crazy, or like not there at all, but we finally did it. The next painting I'm gonna do is about time, and I think I've decided I want to put a horse in it, and watch the next video to see the concept of that. But I think I want to do this one bigger to like redeem myself so that we can all figure out how this horse is jumping. Because in the concept, I definitely do want it to be in a weird stance. That's just a thing that I do with horses. I really like them being painted in ways that you can't photograph them. Okay. Cool. We are pretty much done. This is so exciting. Now we just need to put a couple details here and we're good. I edit the footage, send it to Rob, see what he thinks. If the artwork is still available in a month, it's up for grabs. All right, team. Step 79 is the details. And I guess I'm going to, I want this one because it's a bit tough, this brush. I don't know how to convey that to you. Anyway. So put two lines, use terps to thin out the paint. And smudge them in opposite directions. Excellent. And then, how do I execute this? Give me a moment. This is how we did it. All right, now I've got the steps for you. I picked up this brush and I put white on it. And then I put a couple strokes here and here. And then I smudged them into a circle. And I also put a line here and a line on this side. So it's spinning this way. I feel like that's the wrong way for it to spin, but it is. And I feel like that was quite an effective way to get this spinning look for a painting. All right, now just teeny tiny highlights wherever you think you need them. I don't think I like it. This would have been my only artwork with any writing in it. Numbers counted. No, I don't think I like it. We're gonna put, what's it called? Morse code instead. Step 80. Sign it. Done. I really enjoyed this, Robert. Thank you so much for the request. I thought it was so much fun. I hope you like it enough to get it, but if not, whatever. I enjoyed the artwork. I enjoyed the creative freedom. So really, so much fun. Very exciting. There's a time lapse up here if anyone wants to see the time lapse, and there's real-time videos going to be here eventually if you want to paint with me. And if you want to buy the paints off me that I'm using, go to my website, and at this point in time, it's on a novelties tab. And I didn't realize last week, because people take their time buying art, I didn't realize that I was moving all the menu items while someone was looking and purchasing. So it was just the next day that I realized when the order came in. I was like, I was just moving the menu items on them. So whatever. So at this point in time, the menu item says novelties and you can easily find it there. Otherwise, in the future, if that menu item is gone, just look for Montmarty on my website and then you can buy it off me and we can paint together. How much fun. Oh, I also have a coloring in book series, and at the moment it's on clearance because I'm doing this fun thing where I'm going to change the print run, but I don't want to like change the print run and have like older copies and newer copies. So the original copies, the very first print runs that I've done, up for sale, $12 AUD. So if anyone wants to grab one, please help me clearance them all out. I've got boxes, and that way you can also create art, but with less investment. Like you don't have to get the canvas or anything. You've just got the book and you'll have to get some pencils. I recommend watercolor pencils because they give you more pigment. Anyway, I've got a whole new channel for my coloring in book now because it seems as if I'm in some sort of competition. So the Emily Copy Me clearance sale is now on. Grab a coloring book if you don't want to invest this much time. This was really fun. I'm looking forward to the next artwork. It's about time, and this horse is going to feature in the next artwork because it was a bit of a challenge. I kind of want to bring it into the next one and be like, okay guys, we're painting this horse, we're having a real go at this one. And because of the artwork that just sold recently while I was moving all the menu tabs, I want to incorporate one of the ideas from that artwork. So it's going to be simple, it's going to be easy for you guys. And I feel like I might not have a good gauge of what's easy, but have a go at it. Wait for the next video. These are just bonus features you're getting at the end of the video. I think this is a good idea. His producers were right. I like that. And I'm also thinking maybe I could just shortcut telling you what to do and just put Bob Ross in there. It's my goal. This is fascinating because I used to paint clouds like this, but bro's hand is in the way.
And fluff it upward. Just fluff it.
I'm quite sure he's oil painting. Well, it depends on the cloud. It really does. Because I used to use the background as a tool to get some depth in the cloud. But as I looked at the clouds more often, I would notice that there's grey. I'm not saying Bob Ross is wrong. He's just painting thinner clouds. But I'm just pointing this out because I just spent many hours painting clouds. And I think they look sick. You know what is on my mind? Bob Ross death year. 1995, okay. Maybe. Gone Girl movie year. No, probably not. Nah, definitely not. Bob Ross has never seen Gone Girl. I don't know, I was just like, for some reason... Back to it. Hey team, my lights arrived. So the lights that are going to help me paint when it's overcast and nighttime. Oh, the reason I'm showing you this is because I want to share this business. It's a new business. The guy's building it so that he can retire with it. And he just really took care of us with these lights. So he was like, hey, like, would you mind telling people? I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So yeah, just sharing the lights, and then I'll show you when they're installed by an electrician. The reason I had to talk to the business owner is because it didn't say they were approved for Australia. So I had to ring him, and they are approved for Australia, and they're smart lights, and they're going to make painting so much easier when it's overcast and dark. Actually, I don't have to wait for the electrician to sync this up. Oh, damn! Alright, team. Here we go. You can see the green. Damn! Okay, well, you can see that this is really going to positively impact my painting because it emulates the sun, just one of them. Holy crap. So when it starts to get overcast and dark, I'll be switching these on, and then you won't be able to tell through the camera, hopefully. Maybe you'll be able to tell just a little bit. But yeah, the owner was so helpful in helping us get the right, like make sure that an electrician will install these. So I'm just sharing it because the owner was great. And he was like, hey, would you help me out? Like, if you have any socials? I was like, I do, but they're dead. But okay, yeah, I'll tell people about this. It impacts my art. Oh, I like that. That's what I'm going to have when I'm not painting. Oh, but like, it's not like you buy the light and then you have this full setup. I did a lot of setting up because I've got, here we got kitchen blind.